into Louise Hood.
It's all in the mix.
This is Rich from My Take Radio.
This is Ceremony.
This is Nadia Sonica.
This is Brimstone.
This is Marie Doll.
And you are listening to Straight Out of Austin.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Straight Outta Austin, the podcast where everyone seems to forget to silence their cell phones.
That's not mine, actually.
Yeah? It's a likely story. Because it's going to your cell phone, so I'd imagine...
Oh, because it's probably my old one. It's still connected to Facebook.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And the knowledge crystals?
Aquarium gravel. Of course.
Well, anyway, as always, this is Prometheus.
This is Agamemnon.
You're listening to Straight Outta Austin, a product of PunchingTheWallsReality.com, a proud member of the Four Eyed Radio Network. Anyway, we already got some people in the chat. We got Luis of the Comic Bubble.
Yay, Luis.
Who will be joining us later on as we discuss, mainly discuss Captain America the Winter Soldier, but also he can join us with some of our other topics as well.
You want me to call him now?
Not yet.
Okay.
I kind of want to talk about the Walking Dead season finale first.
Okay.
And then we'll bring him in. I don't know if he's seen it, so I don't want to spoil it for him. So, Luis, if you have any cotton balls, you might want to stick them in your ears because we're going to spoil the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But before I go to that, Luis says he loves the intro. Where can I find the track? And I guess I'll go ahead and put the intro on. Okay, you did see it. Okay, you can go ahead and call him then. We'll have him join the discussion. But, yeah, I'll put a link for this podcast and I guess future podcast for people that want the track. I'll put a link for this podcast and I guess future podcast for people that want the track. I'll put a link for this podcast. that want the track. Oh man.
Go ahead and Luis, silence your audio on your end. Go ahead and Luis, silence your audio on your end. Can you hear us, Luis?
Yep.
What's going on, brother?
Everything's going on good. What's up?
Nothing much, man. Welcome to the show.
Hello. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're delighted to be joined by Luis of the Comic Bubble podcast, a.k.a. Ice.
Ice.
You know, I just wanted to commend you. I was actually going to send you a message earlier, but I didn't have an opportunity to. But, you know, your podcast, it's very good. You seem to have a very natural knack for it, right off the bat. Even with, the very first episode. It sounds like you've been doing it for a while. Or you've just been listening to, some really talented people do it for a while.
Probably not.
Everything I learned from you, Dad.
We're so proud of you, boy.
Eyebrow attack. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're just going to get right into this. Well, actually, you know what? Before we get right into this, actually tell people about the Comic Bubble podcast and what they can look forward to every Friday at 8 p.m. Central and 9 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, every Friday, like you said, I'm recording the Comic Book podcast where I told you guys, I come up with an awesome slogan, the Comic Bubble, where you can come and let your geek fly.
Yeah.
It's a great, comics has always been a great passion of mine. It's like my number one thing that I love. So I always want to do a podcast where I can bring that love to everybody else. So it's definitely, when you come to Comic Bubble, it's going to be it's all about discussing like the news and everything. But you don't really get a lot of that everywhere. So I felt like it was something I owe to the people. I owe to my fellow comic nerds. So it's a great place to just come by and just have a great time.
Well, I definitely feel the love in the podcast. I mean, obviously, it's one of those things where when you chime in on our show, you're a resident oracle for knowing all things comics. So your passion really shows whenever you're doing your own show. And
Thanks.
yeah, I just highly recommend it for those of you who have not listened yet.
Yeah. So I know it's on Friday nights, and I know it's one of those popular nights, but it's the best. I figured it's the best night where it's at the end of the week, so whenever there's any news, I can have everything instead of just doing it. Maybe if I record Monday night, but then there's a breaking news for Thursday night, and they go, well, I can't cover it till next week, so I figure Friday night is the best place where I can grab like the big highlights throughout the week and have it for everybody to listen to.
Yeah, it's good to be able to do like a recap like at the end of the week. So like you said, you have all the fresh news straight out of the oven, and you can bring it to all the listeners.
Yeah, exactly. It's a great thing because Monday night you start off the week, you got Straight Outta Austin. You got Friday night, you got the comic bubble. So it's a great way to buy, have a bookends, every week.
That's a really good way to market that. I like that. We're going to keep that. That's the bookend. You start off your week with some Straight Outta Austin. You end it with the comic bubble.
The comic bubble nightcap.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
And the weekend, we'll see you next week. But
replays.
yeah, exactly. Listen to it again till we come back. But so I wanted to talk about the season finale of The Walking Dead. And listeners, you should know by now, but if you don't know, now you know. This will be spoilerific because I want to rip the shit out of Walking Dead. I'm sorry. I really wanted to like this season. Season 4 started off strong.
Oh my god!
It started off, with the flu and
The best thing about the beginning of season 4 was, first of all, shout-outs to Melanie and the crew for making the most awesome bacon party I had been to at that point. But yeah, we had this huge bacon party. It was so much fun. We had lots of people there. Everyone was into the show. There was a couple, even the people that weren't, but they still had like really good opinions.
For those that don't know what a bacon party is, it's basically where we celebrate the existence of bacon by having foods that normally wouldn't have bacon in them and putting bacon in them. So you wouldn't think of like, all right, it's not just like bacon and eggs or bacon on a cheeseburger. It's like, let's have bacon muffins. Yeah. Let's have bacon cheesecake. So it's everything and anything
eggplant
bacon.
Parmesan with bacon.
Yeah.
Macaroni with bacon. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich with bacon.
Bacon with bacon.
Yeah.
That is like the greatest thing I've ever
heard. I know, man. That's what, you need to come and live next to us.
Yeah, we'll have a bacon party in your honor if you ever make it out to Austin.
Oh, I definitely will one of these days.
Nice. But anyway, go on, sir.
So, I mean, on top of like the great atmosphere, the opening episode was really incredible. You had a couple of new cast members. Granted, it didn't last very long.
Like the doctor.
But it had this whole, like, sort of a new status quo, like life after the governor, And it's showing you, oh, look, they're doing the farming thing. They're advancing, they're culturing stuff, and, they got a little pig farm, and there's all this great stuff that's happening. And then by the end of it, it's like somebody feeding the zombies and stuff, and people are getting sick, and all of a sudden, like a couple episodes later, it becomes this like horrible epidemic. You're like, oh my god, how are they going to survive? And then at the mid-season, they do the whole breakup. The governor returns, and then the governor coming back reveal was like, I was so excited for it, and then he just gets off,
Yeah,
just like that, and then like, okay, well then who's the new villain now?
It almost felt like that's exactly how the writers felt, where they're like, yeah, who are we going to have as the villain? How about this? Let's not have a villain. Mm-hmm. Let's just stretch out the last 8 episodes. Because I knew the whole thing. Like, after the first couple, I'm like, all right, we're not going to get to Terminus until, like, the season finale. Like, I already knew it because it was just like, there's no reason to have the pace that slow. And I got that they were trying to, do more character moments and character development. But what made the first, like, 3 or 4 episodes so good is they did that, but something else was also happening. You know, because you had the flu going on. It's like, oh man, this is so intense. Like, who's gonna die? You know, you had Glenn that was sick. You had Herschel just showing like why he's such an awesome character. Meanwhile, you have the mystery of who's feeding the walkers. You have the walkers pushing on the fence. Like, you have so much going on, and you're getting these amazing character moments. Whereas like the second half of season 4 was like you had nothing. There was nothing going on. And like the first episode that I enjoyed was the one where Daryl and Beth find the coroner's office or like house or whatever, and he's like dressing up the dead people, and you know Beth ends up getting kidnapped at the end. Like that was the first one where I was like, wow, this is a good episode. This is the first good episode in my opinion of that season. And then you know the episode after that where Daryl's out there with like all those other like outdoorsmen psychopaths. Yeah. That was another one. That one was good, but it like took like the last 2 or 3 episodes before they finally did anything. Now the Lizzie episode is debatable. Some people thought it was a huge impact. Other people like myself was just like, I thought it was a cop out, and I thought that they killed off a character that had so much more potential, and I think especially in light of them getting to Terminus.
I think with that it was just more like I think they just cashed in a quick shock value episode. That's all it felt like was like, well, we got this trump card that we can play at any moment, and the rest of this episode's not all that enthralling. Mm-hmm. So let's just go ahead and use this wild card at the very end.
Yeah.
And just throw everybody off. Because I saw it when it happened, and I was just kind of like, huh. Well, then there you go. And then I like hit Facebook, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's how you write a show." I was like, "That's not writing. That's just making this crazy thing happen that otherwise wouldn't have made too much sense." Because you can easily take that character and grow it, and then make so many other incredible moments happen out of that.
Yeah, to me, what made Lizzie so good is like I thought that she would have been awesome because she's this constant threat. You know, like, I thought if they wouldn't have jumped the gun and had her kill Mika, which, to me, that part seemed really forced. And, like, you know, because she had this affinity for the zombies from day one, but she never seemed to be, like, crazy enough to not be able to distinguish that they're a threat. She still felt like, it's almost like someone who's, like, a big animal lover, and it's like they see a lion. They know the lion's dangerous, but they still, you know, care about it as a creature, and they don't want to, you know, they don't want to harm it. But they made it where she's just like, oh yeah, these are totally my friends, even though when I get into trouble, I'm still going to run and kill them. So, I don't know, it just kind of bothered me the way they did that. But anyway, so going to Terminus. So everything is leading to Terminus. Literally, every road's leading to Terminus. They even have like their street crew out there making banners and shit so people can find it. And so you're thinking like, all right, you know, finally, this is what we've all been waiting for. Everyone's going to reunite. We're going to find out what this weird, you know, place is. And it turns out they're kind of a cult. You know, it's implied that they might be cannibals because they show, like, one of the rooms and there's a bunch of bones and stuff. And they literally start off like someone you'd find, like, working at, like, a Whole Foods. Like, they're really, like, chill and laid back. Like, yeah, man, you know, let us see your weapons, man.
Typical hipster barista.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll get you a mocha latte, you know. Yeah, come on in, you know, everybody's family here. Yeah. And so, you know, they're putting on this facade, and then Rick notices that the pocket watch that Herschel gave to Glenn is sticking out the dude's pocket. So he jumps the gun, literally, and sticks it in the guy's face. And, you know, he's like, where'd you get that pocket watch? And anyway, they're overrun because, like, this whole town is armed to the teeth. It's, like, entering, like a freaking armed compound. And and long story short, they end up getting stuffed inside of a train car. I think it was a train car. And they reunite with the rest of the, you know, the characters that had gotten to Terminus already. And then it ends on this cliffhanger, and Rick's like, they're going to regret this. They don't know who they're messing with, and the season ends. And it's like, what? Okay, actually, before I even come to that, I'm just going to say the episode was not bad. And what led up, the part before it, when Rick encounters, like, Daryl, the group Daryl was with, that part was epic. I have no qualms with that. But to me, it's just like, if you're going to stretch out 8 episodes and still end on a fucking cliffhanger, like, that was my problem. Whereas it's like, it just seemed like they didn't know what else to do for this season. So they just tried to drag everything out as much as possible. So, I don't know. You guys can give me your opinions. I know I've been doing my little monologue.
Well, there was some comment I saw somewhere that made sense to me, and I agree with, where the season finale just seemed, it didn't seem like a season finale. It was like maybe something we should have gotten like a mid-season finale. Like it didn't really have like that end of season big epicness to it. Like you said, it wasn't bad, but it's like maybe it came at the wrong time.
Yeah, I completely agree. That was the whole thing. It's like that should have been what like episode 9 was. You know, like the season premiere the mid-season premiere should have been something like that, where it's like, oh man, now I know I want to watch this whole season, and it leaves on this cliffhanger where it's like, how are they going to get out of this, you know, crazy situation?
Right.
You know, not to wait like a whole another, well, not a full year, but wait until fall to get the conclusion. When, you know, like for the last 7 episodes, like barely anything has been happening. So it's just really frustrating, especially because season 3 was so good, and the first half of season 4 was also really good. I mean, some people complained about the governor episodes being really slow and boring, but it's like I can kind of see that. But compared to the second half of season 4, like those things were moving at a breakneck pace, and it's just frustrating because it's the same it's the same showrunner as season 3, and he kind of stepped things up, and it just seems like, and almost like he was buying into his own hype. Where he's like, all right, you know, this is what we got now.
I'm totally feeling myself.
Yeah, it's
right
like now I can do no wrong. It's like, no, you did a lot of wrong, and you suck. And
and going back to the Lizzie thing, people said, you know, this is how writing gets done. I wonder if they read comic books, and I say that because for us as comic readers, we know about shock death, and you know that when it comes to the character being killed off, just for the shock value itself, not because it serves a story. So we know when we see this, it's just another, you know. It's just value just for like for the shock for it. It serves no greater purpose. When you see those kind of comments, you just wonder. You know, we understand better than you. You know, don't come say this is like great writing or anything like that.
Yeah,
it feels like Quesada when he said it's magic. We don't have to explain it.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. It was just like to me. It just seemed so lazy because it seemed like they didn't want to have like a real situation where like the kids were in peril and like they had to kill them. Or, because, like, the whole thing that it seemed like it was leading to, like, with Mika, where it seemed like she eventually, like, the natural progression was that she was going to get killed by one of the zombies, because or even, like, by a person, because she was, quote-unquote, too soft. And, I don't know, they tried to play up the dichotomy between her and Lizzie, like, way too much, where it was just, like, it wasn't clever anymore. It was just, like, literally, like, hey, they're complete opposites. One only kills zombies. One only kills human. Isn't that so crazy? You know? Like, it was, like, this terrible, like, buddy cop comedy, like, type dichotomy. And it was really lame. I did like when she actually did kill her, because, like, the whole, like, look at the flowers. But only for, like, meme purposes, because it was cared about anything. Like, she's like, other than when her dad died, there was
and then when I think didn't she slap Carl or the other kid for making fun of the zombies, like in the first or second episode?
Probably. I don't think it was Carl. No, but I think she ran away because Carl was like getting mad at her for like naming them. But I guess like as far as showing remorse, like when has Lizzie ever cared if she's disappointed anybody? Yeah, you know, it's just like I don't know. It just seemed like they just... Go ahead.
She didn't have remorse for killing her own sister or anything like that.
Yeah, it just seems like they pulled it out of left field just to show, like, that's just how screwed up she is. Got to put her down old Yeller style. And, like, it would have been one thing if they had been building towards this since the beginning of Season 4, then be like, oh, wow, this is really... Like, if she would have... Like, if they would have done the whole thing where, if she had been, like, doing this, like, more often, or they had been, like, dropping hints. But to me, it just seemed like... a really convenient way to get rid of both of those characters. And it's like almost like Carl can be the only child. You know, it's like we can't have any other kid characters. Because they made it so interesting. Because it's like, you know, the way Carl started off, where he was getting really dark and very unsympathetic, it's like that's how a kid raised in that reality would be. And then all of a sudden they made him a kid again in this season, where he's like, I don't need you anymore, Dad.
14 now. And he's pushing up there, but... I think at the time that the Shock Factor episode came out with Lizzie, I read I think it was IO9 review. I don't remember who reviewed it, but they were saying it was like how great an episode was. But the thing was, like, the thing that sucks the most about this episode is now that Lizzie's gone, because they was talking about how Lizzie brought this great perspective into Walking Dead. To where this really is a whole entirely new world. Yeah. Because you have the way people are transitioning with zombies. And she's like playing with one of them at the beginning of the episode, you know? So it's just showing like the way humanity's starting to cope, and at this very young age, to where the adults are like, oh my, fend for your lives, and then you have Lizzie, who's treating them like you would find any other house cat or something like that. And it's like, now that perspective is literally been shot dead.
Look at the flowers.
You have Carl, and I think the way it was phrased in the article was boring, plain Carl. And it was like, and that saddens me. And I just kind of laughed at the end of that article.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because Lizzie to me reminds me of like Milton, where Milton was so interesting. Like, he was probably my favorite character that season simply because he was like nobody else. Like, he wasn't tough from facing adversity. Like, he faced none of it. He had like this fascination with the zombies, and he had even made like that sleeve that was like bite proof. And it went nowhere. It's like, there's so much more. And he was also like recording the history of like what happens with like mankind.
Yeah.
And then they just kill him off. It's like, this guy is really interesting. Like, he brings another perspective, much like Lizzie, to the show, and is like, nah, we need more shock value death.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, obviously the show has had its writing problems and continues to have them, but it's disappointing when they have something to latch onto. And the last thing I want to say about it is like the new characters they introduced. Like, they came in, I thought they were going to be awesome. You have the Sergeant Mustache guy, you have Eugene, and what was her name, Laura Croft, and you have that little crew, and they're like, we got to save the world, we know the history of what started the zombies. And then not only one do they not tell you, and then two, they get dragged into the main plot of everybody else. And it's just like, they literally did nothing. It was just like, again, like just dragging this whole thing out, and that to me completely epitomizes like what this season was. It's like a lack of ideas, just kind of watered down, really. So I don't know. I was disappointed, but like, thankfully, a superior show has just started its first episode of the season, Game of Thrones. So I don't have much to be complaining about.
Yeah. Although I guess I kind of understand why Lizzie and the sister had to go, because I mean, do you think Carl really wants to share his pudding?
See, that would have been even
no
better.
Noah's going to get their hands on my Go-Gurt.
That would have been a great way to kill them off if, like, Lizzie would have stole Carl's pudding, and he's like, Lizzie, look at the empty pudding wrapper, and she's like, I'm sorry, Carl, you're mad at me, aren't you? And just shoots her in the face, Shane style. Like, that would have been shocking, like a kid killing another kid for eating his pudding.
Yeah.
And then Carl like has like that dark side that he started having when he shot the kid.
Not
like,
even Carol can be mad at that.
Yeah.
No one lays a finger on my butterfinger.
that would have been epic, and a perfect tie-in too, because I got to use that for advertisements. I mean, that's the other thing about Lizzie. Like, had they made it where like Lizzie was the one that killed those two people in the prison, and then it showed how she didn't really have like an understanding of like humans and zombies and stuff.
Oh my god! Yeah, wow.
That also would have made more sense. Instead, it's like, Carol, I did it.
Yeah,
I forgive you. All right, well, let's move on then. Let's go to Terminus. So, like, all the tension is completely gone.
What are we waiting for?
Yeah. Oh man. Anyway. Moving on. So the first topic we have here concerns everyone's favorite Hugh Jackman. And apparently, he ain't getting any younger. Apparently he started playing Wolverine when he was 30. He's about to be 40. And he's talking about, getting too old for this. And he's talking about who his successor could potentially be. So before I say who it is, unless you've read the article,
I
like,
hear Luis laughing already.
I think that's right. I think you had mentioned this on your the comic bubble. So I'll go ahead and say it. So he was saying that he thinks Channing Tatum would be a good Wolverine.
Nah, you know what? Ice, you seem like you got a lot to say.
Wait, he is from Australia. Maybe then they somehow went back to April 1st, April Fools or something, right? Right. This is a joke, right?
I don't know.
The funny thing about it is like the way they have it in context.
Yeah.
Where where is it now? I should have highlighted it. But the way like they ask him, where they're like, "So who do you think would play the character?" And he's kind of like, "I don't know, Channing Tatum." It seems like he just literally threw out a name, like he wasn't thinking about it, like he wasn't sitting there pining about it. Yeah. Here's the quote. He's just like, "It's like I don't know who could play him. Channing Tatum could probably play him." So it's just kind of like he just probably just threw it. This guy's my buddy. I don't know. I just saw Magic Mike. He seems like a good candidate for Wolverine. But yeah, I don't know. I can think of few worse choices than Channing Tatum, and not that I dislike Channing Tatum at all, but for Wolverine,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was told earlier, and maybe it's a good point. Maybe it's all just an elaborate plan by Hugh Jackman, where maybe he does get Channing Tatum to be Wolverine, and if people hate it so much, Fox is like, well, there goes our X-Men franchise. Here you go, Disney.
There you go.
Oh, if only. Dude,
if only.
I can't imagine how many movies would have to bomb before Fox finally cut the umbilical cord and take it back.
Yeah,
because it's like they can put out pretty much complete crap and still have a fan base. Unfortunately,
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. X-Men Origins Wolverine. X-Men: The Last Stand. I mean, yeah,
if they made a Channing Tatum movie with Wolverine, it'd be like Step It Up, Cutting the Rug. Step It Up 4, Cutting the Rug.
Yeah, cut above the rest.
Yeah, there you go.
Popping claws and locking.
I was trying to make a dancing pun, but
yeah.
I'm no Brian Salisbury.
No, sir. But neither is anyone. But yeah, so I don't know. I just thought it was funny because it's one of those things where it's like I always hate when they have these articles or even the press where they just ask people random questions where it's it's not like they're volunteering these answers, but they're asking them these leading questions. Mm-hmm. So you always get these weird answers.
You can tell they're answers that they don't want to. They're questions they don't want to really answer. Who do you think could play? Is really? You got 10 minutes to interview me, and that's the question you're going to ask. The
worst part about this article, which comes from Nerd Bastards...
It's how do you like to go... Do you like to zipper up or you like to zipper down?
Yeah, right. I like to fly open, bub. But, so they asked James McAvoy who they thought should play him, and he's like, nobody can fill his shoes. You know what they got to do? They got to retire this character when he's done. It's really? First of all, I understand, because, there's the oversaturation.
Yeah,
so it's
I would actually say not a bad idea, because that actually wouldn't... I think that would be a good thing.
I don't want other characters to shine.
Yeah, I mean, it would be good, but I don't know. I mean, I guess it's the practicality, because there's no way Fox would ever retire Wolverine.
Well, I mean, I think even from McAvoy's perspective, I mean, look how awesome First Class was. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't have had as much screen time if Hugh Jackman was in it, and that could be partly the reason for the second one of why Professor X... James McAvoy's Professor X is so jaded and hopeless.
Yeah,
because they took away my screen time.
Yeah, right. Hugh Jackman took my screen time, and now he took my future.
We need you to hope again. Never. Give me 20 more minutes of screen time.
Yeah, how could I hope when I'm not even on screen?
But hope that you will be, and you will be maybe. For the next movie.
For about 10 minutes. But yeah, I guess in that context, it would be good. Because, I would love to see X-Men movies not starring Wolverine. I mean, we got one. Maybe we'll even get two.
If we can just relegate it to, the Wolverine musical.
Yes.
That would be epic. I would love to see. I just want to see Omega Red. Comrade, hand me vodka. I don't know. I think that'd be beautiful. But, So anyway, so they finally casted who's going to be Doctor Doom in the Fantastic Four reboot, and I was really hoping when they were saying that they're going to cast a female, just because I thought Lena Headey would have been awesome, but instead we got Toby Kebbell. Yeah, that's right. Let's not all speak at once at how excited we are for this guy. This guy that everybody knows from.
You know what? To be honest, I don't think I've ever heard of the guy. And the thing is that when they released that news, they released it I think on April 1st. And so I was hesitant to even, say anything about that anywhere because I'm like, oh, hold on, this could be a joke, so I don't want to fall for anything.
Yeah, it's funny.
I've never heard the guy.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because, on April 1st, because I usually go through the news every day and try and find topics for the podcast, but I just stayed away. I'm like, I'm not believing anything. I don't care if an article comes out and says the sky is blue. I'm like, nah, I don't know. You're not gonna fool me, internet. You're not gonna fool me.
I'm pretty sure I seen a green one time.
Yeah, right. Hey, it was just red just a second ago. This crazy hailstorm we had. But he's from such great movies as the sequel to Clash of the Titans, I believe, Wrath of the Titans.
Yeah.
And he was in Rock and Rolla.
He played Johnny Quid in Rock and Rolla. He was a heroin junkie, rock and roller guy, the rock star that everyone keeps thinking is dead.
It sounds just like Dr. Doom.
I wonder who he was in Wrath of the Titan, because I've seen that movie and I don't remember him. So
yeah, he played Agenor, or a Gainer. I forget the name.
Yeah, it goes to show how a big impact he had.
He was he was Poseidon's made up son for the movie.
Yeah.
He's just like a thief, and then all of a sudden he finds out he's got like water based abilities.
He's Aquaman.
Like, really, yeah,
Aquaman the
bloody
movie.
hell.
Yeah,
I've got water powers,
and I've got bloody washboard abs. Yeah, so I don't know. It's one of those casting choices where you're not even like, oh my god, they casted that guy, or you're like, oh my god, they casted that guy. It's more like, what? It was almost like how a lot of people reacted when Gal Gadot got casted as Wonder Woman. They were all like, "Who? Who is this?"
They casted who now?
Yeah, it was like you can't even muster any sort of emotion. Yeah. So I don't know. He might do a good job. I had read somewhere else, but I think this was on April 1st about that they're not going to give him the actual Doctor Doom mask. Which, if that ends up being the case, I'm completely done with this movie. Because they already did it once in the first movie. Yeah. If they deprive Doctor Doom of looking like Doctor Doom again, then just no. Like, I mean, I don't even like the Fantastic Four that much, but Doctor Doom is like the coolest part of that. That whole the whole team. So it's like, if you can't even do like one of the best superhero villains ever, and you can't even do him justice, then just don't do it at all. So I don't know if you heard that. Remember, Luis? I
actually have not. This is the first time I've heard of that part.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find the article. I'll send it to you sometime. I'll see if you can vet it. But I don't know. I really hope that was just an April Fool's joke, because if that ends up being the case, then
yeah, I know Fox makes mistakes, but if they make that one now, I don't think they're that dumb. But,
I don't know.
I mean, come on. If they did it in the first one,
yeah.
I don't see why they. I mean, I can understand maybe if they wait a little longer before, they reveal him as Doctor Doom. I can get that, but not to have it at all. I don't know. I see it hard not to actually see that happening or something.
Yeah, I just wouldn't put it past them, because I got two words: Baraka, Deadpool. They did it. They'll do it again. So, okay. So we're going to talk about Captain America, but first, I'm going to just talk about this topic because it leads right into it. So obviously we all saw Captain America, the Winter Soldier. We all loved it. My one gripe, I mean, I have little nitpicks, but my main gripe was, hey, where's Hawkeye? He's BFFs with Black Widow. In the comics, he's BFF with Cap.
I've seen that everywhere.
Yeah. So
I get it, though. I get why he wasn't in it. And for me, I'm glad he wasn't in it, only because we didn't want to already bring like half the Avengers back for this movie. It's supposed to be like it's Cap's movie. I can understand having one person and it's Black Widow, and the writers gave a really good reason why they had Black Widow. But that if they had Hawkeye as well, it would have just been like a little too much.
Yeah, I agree to an extent, and that's kind of what their reasoning was, where they said like they wanted to give a lot more time to all the other characters. Fury had a bigger role. Black Widow had a big role. Falcon had a bigger role, and obviously Cap being the focal point. So they're like, well, Hawkeye wasn't really needed. It's like, well, I mean, granted, technically, I guess my only beef, because I understand like why Iron Man wasn't there, why the Hulk wasn't there, why Thor wasn't there. Like, I have no problems at all why they weren't there, because obviously things are happening so fast. It's not like they had time to make a call and be like, hey Tony,
right.
can you help us out there? But plus we saw how Civil War went, so Cap probably was like, you know what, I like my jaw hanging on, thanks buddy. But I felt like Hawkeye would have been there for his girl, but But yeah, so they're basically saying like their whole reasoning. They had said they had wrote a line in the script to kind of explain like why he wasn't there, but I don't know. They said that they may or may not have actually filmed it, but either way, it was cut. And they said that they pretty much didn't want to. There was really no need for him to be there as far as the amount of characters they have. So I don't know. I'm somewhat satisfied with that, but I do wish that we would have at least like got like a third post credit thing, and he's just like on the beach. And then, like, he gets a text from Black Widow, like, "Hey, where were you?" And he's like sipping a Corona, like, "I'm sorry, I was busy.
I was filming a Corona commercial."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because it makes sense story wise not to have him, because a lot of people are, a lot of people are saying they want to have him mostly because obviously Hawkeye is awesome with his bow, so they want to see that action. But story wise, it makes sense that he wasn't there.
Yeah.
I guess that's true, because you think of everyone who was there, they were directly involved. Like, Black Widow was there right when this stuff happened. Even when Maria Hill comes in, like, she was called by Fury at one point.
Yeah.
So he was probably, I guess they could have explained in a way that he was just completely left out of the loop. But I don't know, because they give, like, this whole, like, all called all S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, unless they just, like, blacklisted his name, or they just didn't mention him. It's like, hey, let's not tell Hawkeye about it, because he's going to be really pissed we're trying to hunt his buddy,
Yeah, because, I mean, he's a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, so you would think,
Yeah.
of all people there at the very end, like, he would be around somewhere.
Yeah.
But, like I was telling Prometheus another point in time, it's like maybe he went back to Budapest.
Maybe.
Change things around.
And I think he was probably watching Hunger Games to get some bow tips. He was just like, yeah, I'm going to show Katniss who the real Archer is. But anyway, so...
Yeah, but the way I see it is that it's like if you go back to Avengers, and when we get introduced to the scene with Black Widow, she was on that mission solo. And then she was told about Hawkeye.
Yeah.
So, obviously, to me, it's like, well, maybe, they don't always have all these missions together. They'll have their own solo missions. But, okay, well, in this one, we're going to require Hawkeye to be over here to do this because of his skills, etc. So,
when you put it that way, Luis, I can't disagree with you. Yeah, that actually makes sense. Yeah, he probably was. He was working hard for that paycheck. So I'm just going to assume that he was deployed. But yeah, so yeah, we'll just get right into Captain America: Winter Soldier. I've said my opinion. I loved it. Just the lack of the beautiful Hawkeye running around and shooting people was my only beef. And there's like one other like very nitpicky thing, and also for the listeners, we were going to spoil a couple things. So towards the very end, after like the epic battle, which was so great between Winter Soldier and Captain America, and there's a part where Cap is like trying to rewire the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier. And, like, the Winter Soldier shoots him, and he falls over, and then, he has to claw his way back up to finish. But after Winter Soldier shoots him, where does he go? Because he just kind of waits and lets Cap save the day. Like, he just kind of stood there, and he didn't do anything until the ship collapsed on him.
Oh, yeah. I guess so.
Like,
I guess he didn't really have time to jump up there anyway. But I think he thought Cap was a goner.
Yeah, maybe that. Maybe he just sort of assumed, like, well, I shot him, I'm done.
Yeah.
It was just kind of funny to me because I was just sitting there just thinking, like, why didn't he shoot him again?
Yeah.
Because he could have shot him a couple more times.
Because I think at the angle he was at, he had slouched. And, like, Captain America got shot and he slouched. So he couldn't really see him, I think, from that angle anyway. And then when Captain America got up and then stuck the thing in and it was done and over with, he dug deep right in those trenches of his mind and he got the job done because he's Captain America.
You're the mission!
Maybe, I don't know, maybe Bucky didn't have enough time to react.
Yeah, probably not.
Who knows? But it is a little bit of a, I could let it pass. But
yeah, like I said, it's just kind of a nitpick because I was just like, because while watching it, I'm thinking like, why isn't he shooting him again? Like, but I mean, you know what they could have just easily done?
Not everyone's you.
Yeah, I know.
And would just shoot people at will at any moment's notice.
I would have shot him in both kneecaps and then be like, now you try saving the day, Cap.
Now try doing a pull up.
Yeah, no, right. He does it anyway. Damn it.
Yeah, you heard the arrow? Well, you took a bullet to the knee.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I used to be a Captain America just like you, and I took 2 bullets to the knee. But I don't know. If you guys, did you guys have any negatives about it that you felt?
I had nothing. I don't think there was anything I didn't like about it. I mean, I thought it was amazing, and one of the things I really loved about it was at the beginning how they treated Batroc the Leaper. Because in the comics, he's pretty much a silly character. Not a bad character, but he's a silly character.
Yeah.
And in here, he was just flipping awesome.
Yeah.
Literally flipping awesome.
Flipping awesome, pun intended. The way that fight scene with Cap was just it was incredible, well coordinated. Like well done. It was amazing.
Are you just a shield?
Yeah.
I will go
more than just a shield.
I will go for takedowns.
I bring the rhythm.
Yeah, Cap, you cannot handle my rhythm. But yeah, oh man, that seemed like I was expecting greatness because I mean, obviously they didn't just have any guy as Batroc the Leaper.
Yeah, they had former welterweight champion 7 years running, Georges St. Pierre.
Yeah, and it's like this guy is an incredible athlete in his own right. So I'm thinking like, all right, there's no way like it's not gonna be good. But it was even better than what I expected. It was like, wow, you actually exceeded my expectations.
Yeah.
But actually, I do have one other gripe with the movie. It was too good. Because now all these other movies, like, now they're just not going to be as good.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Do you think Amazing Spider-Man is going to be this good? Like, they should have at least, they should have not been so selfish and have their movie at the end of the summer so I can see all the other mediocre movies and be like, oh, wow.
And it would just be the cherry on top.
Yeah, it'll be the cherry on top. Now, I got standards.
Now I just ate the whole bowl of cherries. I got nothing to put on top of this cake.
Now I got no ice cream. I got no whipped cream, man. I don't know. But I actually have high hopes for Guardians. Like, I think it's... I don't know. It's so hard because before I thought that was going to be the sleeper hit. But now I'm like, it's going to have some huge red, white, and blue boots to fill to try and be as good.
It's funny you mentioned Guardians now because there was something that was shown today, and because I forgot where it was. Some other comic book convention happening. I don't know if it was in Texas or I think somewhere out west, where they were having a Firefly panel, and somebody asked Nathan Fillion, what if you want to be in the movie because Josh Whedon's your buddy and all, and he's like, well. I'm not gonna say anything, but if Guardians of the Galaxy comes out, just look at the credits.
Yeah, that was actually one of her topics. Yeah, he said, check the credits. So, and then apparently James Gunn had made something about them refilming some stuff because of a cameo. So, hopefully he's not just trolling everybody, and he actually will show up at the end.
He ends up being Quasar or something cool.
Yeah, Fillion wouldn't do that. He's one of us.
Yeah.
He's one of the nerds, one of the people.
I wanted to be one of the Starjammers, even though they don't have the rights to them. I wanted to be Corsair.
Oh, really? Fox has the rights to Starjammers?
I would imagine, because they're still in the X-Men continuity.
Yeah, but they're more part of the space opera.
Nah, they're X-Men. That's like the Shi'ar not being X-Men.
I thought they only had rights to, like, mutants.
Well,
characters.
He's the dad of a mutant. And I think his wife is a mutant, too. He's in the cartoon. And they got a giant green thing.
Yeah, that one's tricky, because I can see Marvel maybe trying to take anything cosmic, trying to keep that with them.
Yeah.
Even though, like the X-Men and the Shi'ar, the Starjammers and the Shi'ar are a big part of the X-Men lore. I don't know, I can see Marvel trying to, jiggle things. Hey, you said mutants. They're not mutants.
Well, I guess that's the thing, because, with Fantastic Four, they have the Skrulls.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't see why they wouldn't also have the Starjammers.
True.
Instead we got Chitauri.
Just Chitauri.
Chitauri mushrooms. But, so anyway. But, yeah, so, apparently they have hints. They put out a hint for what Captain America 3 may consist of. And, they mentioned how, we're going to try and make this... Well, we've already made the Cap movies, more grounded than the rest of the Marvel Universe. And they said that the next one... They said, that they're going to reveal is that the next villain is going to be a psychotic 1950s Cap. So, for those of you that are big on the Cap lore, you might know what that means.
Say that again?
A psychotic 1950s Cap.
I should know this.
Burnside? William Burnside?
No.
Okay, well, William Burnside is a super fan who took up the mantle while the real Steve Rogers was cooling off in the North Atlantic. Due to improper use of the super soldier serum, both Burnside and his sidekick Jack Monroe, who took the role of Bucky Barnes, eventually went insane with paranoia and had to be knocked out and placed into cryogenic stasis. So, guess that's
that
who that
sounds
guy
really
is.
familiar, though.
Yeah, so I guess they're going to go with something like that. Maybe. I mean, that's what they're assuming from that small little tidbit of what the character might be.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting story, like a Cap versus Cap, essentially.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I really hope that they bring in, what's his name, Crossbones, because they pretty much had the character.
Yeah.
But they said, he's. I don't know if he signed a deal, but they said that Crossbones was going to be coming back, where this was essentially his origins, his origin, basically.
So Frank Grillo might come back to play him?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, they're going to replace him with Don Cheadle.
It's so funny, because, even in the trailers, that guy just seemed to stand out. Something about his sloping forehead and his jaw. He looked kind of like a Neanderthalic, model, but there was just something about him that made him stand out. Maybe it was, his gruff, facial hair.
Yeah.
But and then as the movie progresses, they keep showing him in little shots where he's right behind over Cap's shoulder, almost all the time. He's sharing the screen with Cap. It's right over his shoulder. You just see his head right behind Cap's head. Almost
number 2.
Yeah, pretty much. And then I I forget the name, but when I looked it up later on IMDb after our first viewing of the movie, I was like, that guy's got to be somebody, because the way like they emphasize...
Yeah, they give him way too much screen time for me to be nobody.
Yeah, and then the emphasis on him fighting not only Falcon, but then at the end, he's all like burned and crap, and he survived the helicarrier crash. And I was like, okay, obviously if they're showing his body like that, he's not dead, for one, because he's in the freaking hospital. And two, that to me, that just tells me that he's coming back.
Yeah.
So let me see who he is, because, he got a lot of screen time. So I looked it up, and then his name was this character. So then for IMDb, I plugged it into Wikipedia, like, this guy's got to be a comic book character. And all of a sudden it brought up the Crossbones page.
Yeah.
I was like, no way! And then I started thinking, Death of Captain America.
Yeah.
No way! They would not do that for the third movie, The Death of Captain America.
I would really be disappointed if they did.
Yeah.
That'd be lame. But, yeah, I don't know. That'll go ahead.
At some point, I'm pretty sure we're gonna get something, either Death of Captain America or maybe like in the movie verse, Rogers decides to become like the Nomad like he was in the comics.
Yeah.
Because with Evans only signing a 6-picture deal and Sebastian doing a 9, it just seems the logical sense is that Bucky will be like the new Captain America, something he'll take the mantle over.
See, that's what I kept thinking, because I kept feeling like with Chris Evans saying that he was going to be done with acting soon, and how many pictures has he done now? Is that like 3?
I think 3. Yeah, Avengers and 2 caps.
Yeah. So then you got Avengers, and then Captain America 3. That's 5, and who knows if he's going to play another role in one of the other movies, which could possibly be 6.
Yeah, Avengers 3 would be 6 then.
Okay, Avengers 3 would be 6. So at any point between now and, I guess, 2018, if he decides he doesn't want to do it anymore, they could just do the Death of Captain America, and then boom, he's dead at the end of Avengers 3.
Yeah.
So... And my big fear is that in Avengers 3 they won't focus on Thanos, like they were kind of promising they would.
Yeah.
I feel like Avengers 3 would probably be more like maybe Civil War or something. If and when they decide to do an Iron Man 4.
Yeah.
I
really hope not. I really do hope that they go through with the Thanos thing, because I just love how he's like the thread, like that's been the undercurrent one from Avengers, obviously tying into Guardians, and for them to bring it back, like, because I just love the foresight that they have with most of the movies, Iron Man 3 notwithstanding, where it's like, they tie the universes together very well.
Right.
And I was listening to another review of Captain America, and they're talking about how not only did they adapt the Winter Soldier storyline very well, but they plugged it into their cinematic universe, like, seamlessly, like it fits so perfectly.
Right.
It's not like Iron Man 3 where they just ignored the fact that they're part of a greater universe. It's like, no, this not only has a direct impact, but it fits with everything else that's going on.
Yeah.
So I would hope, like, going forward that they do that. And, Kevin Fergalicious had even gone as far as to say, like, hey, we've planned out the universe to 2028. So I still find that very suspect. I feel like he's kind of just saying that to be like, oh, yeah, get ready. Like, you're going to have plenty of Marvel. I mean, maybe they have, like, a chalkboard, and they just have, like, random movies that they're having on there. Like, I doubt it's planned in that much detail.
Oh, yeah, they have the chalkboard and, like, inside a vault, inside another vault. That's how secret it is.
It's just a bunch of dudes eating donuts.
Yeah, right. 30 feet below the Triskelion. But, I mean, because it's the whole thing that they've had where they keep flip-flopping on, like, hey, should we make a Black Widow movie? Should we not? Like, if they can't even get, like, I guess Phase 3 or Phase 4, like, solidified, I really doubt, like, at that point what would be, like, Phase 20. They already have that hashed out, So
yeah, and a couple of things is that, well, for one, going back to Iron Man 3, it definitely did not feel, because it's the start of Phase 2, but it didn't feel like we're getting a Phase 2. It was more like Phase 1 epilogue.
Yeah.
Because if Phase 2, it felt like okay, we're continuing in this universe, but like here's a brand new chapter. And then a whole new section, but Iron Man 3 didn't feel like that. It just felt like like, okay, we're still gonna ending chapter 1, so here's like the last few pages.
Yeah. It to me it reminded me of like when you're reading like comics and you just read like a one shot. Like it felt like something like that, or even like something that's supposed to take place like in another universe. Because it's like they didn't even. It just frustrates me so much. Like they didn't even try at all to try and make it like part of the greater universe. It's like, I understand we don't need the Hulk in every movie, but, come on, throw me a bone here. But
and the whole thing about Thanos, and I actually want him to be the main bad guy in Avengers 3, mostly due to the reason because from the moment we've had Captain America when we found out afterwards where that Tesseract is actually basically a cosmic one of the Infinity Gems. I mean,
yeah.
I just don't think that if they don't do it, Thanos in 3 as the main bad guy, it would just been they'll be dragging this on for longer than it really should have been.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's like, yeah, it's very necessary, and the fact that there's the build-up, and then also with Thor: Dark World, the whatever that red stuff that was eating Natalie Portman, like that's also one of the Infinity Gems.
The Aether.
Yeah, the Aether. Yeah. But so I don't know. So I really hope someone had said that they want Ron Perlman to be Thanos, which he definitely has the voice. But I feel like he'll be way too old at that point, unfortunately.
I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with the guy that played him in the Easter egg at the end of Avengers. I think they should just bring him back.
But he didn't really have a voice. He just kind of smirked.
But he looked really cool.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I would just say, like, hey, why not just bring that guy back? Let him make his due.
Why not Zoidberg?
Whoever they got the guy for motion capture, bring it. Yeah, they'll probably keep the same guy. But, whoever's going to be Thanos is going to be really just voice only.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to pull a Game of Thrones and just recast him like 3 or 4 times. Like every time you see him, it's going to be a different guy.
Dario Navarez.
Yeah, exactly. I have a beard now. It's short hair. But yeah, anyway. But speaking of Age of Ultron, well, which we weren't speaking of, but basically they said that we're going to expect to see more Hulk and more Hawkeye. They didn't specify if they're actually going to be like a big part of the movie, or because they didn't really say like they didn't define very big. They pretty much just said like, "Hey, you guys didn't see that much."
2 minutes.
What's that?
So it's like they just get an extra 2 minutes.
Yeah, basically, they just like loop some footage of them running or something. Like, there you go, you get extra Hawkeye, just like the kids wanted. But they were saying since you didn't really see much of Hawkeye in all the other solo movies, and same thing with Hulk, since they never did a sequel to the incredible Hulk film. But
it was good.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I wouldn't say it's
Edward Norton, Liv Tyler's son. Come on.
Yeah, the Incredible Hulk was incredible, just like the Amazing Spider-Man was amazing.
Hey! You watch it there, buddy.
Take that back.
Yeah, right. You don't say that!
I will take that back.
Okay, it was good. It was the passable Hulk, all right? That's what you want to. That's what we want to hear. But anyway,
no, I actually enjoyed the Incredible Hulk. I mean, I know it wasn't
incredible,
great as the rest of the Marvel Universe movies, but I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if they made another solo Hulk movie, they could definitely top it. I mean, they've shown so much more potential with what they can do, but I thought it was solid. And obviously, I'm biased because I like Edward Norton. I love Liv Tyler, so for me, that movie is great just because of that movie or that reason. And then obviously, you got Tim Roth. Come on.
Everyone in that. I mean, then you had what's his name?
That one guy.
Yeah, the guy that played Thaddeus.
But
everyone, you had really top-notch actors give pretty good performances, but just like the Hulk itself was pretty unimpressive.
Hey, you got that thunderclap. You picked up the Humvees and you smashed them.
Yeah, I mean, it was like they had the cool scenes, but it's always like Hulk versus the military, and it's like, really, you can't just do something cool.
Yeah, he fought the super serum dude.
So I feel like if anything, they should have it to where, I don't know, in one of the movies they should just have like Iron Hulk, Incredible Hulk 2, and then with Mark Ruffalo, right?
Yeah.
Bring back Liv Tyler. Maybe bring back Tim Roth.
Ruffalo does not deserve Miss Tyler.
Maybe not.
You can have Jennifer Connelly.
We'll see. Yeah, well, Jennifer Connelly's pretty gorgeous too, but
yes.
And then at the end of it, he gets captured somehow, and then you see the Illuminati minus Reed Richards
and Professor
X,
and possibly Namor.
Possibly Namor.
Is this Black Bolt just hanging out by himself, all sad?
Or maybe it's like the World Security Council or something like that from the Avengers. And then shoot him out into space, and then you're like, no. That's like the mid-screen credit, and at the end screen credit, he's like landing on the planet. And I forget that badass chick that he ends up making his wife, like shows up and she's like, "Prepare yourself," or some like dumb shit like that. And then he just like, "Bruh." And then that's the end. And then you just get the blue screen after that, and you're just like, "Yeah."
I wanted to end with like when he comes back to Earth, and he's like destroying everything, and then like Tony Stark's like trying to talk him down. It's like, Banner, come on, you gotta stop this. This is madness. He goes, this is Planet Hulk, and he just boots him in the chest, and his arc reactor just explodes in his chest. He just dies.
See, and then from there, you do Incredible Hulk 3, which is Planet Hulk.
Yeah.
And then Avengers 3.
And then World War Hulk.
Could be World War Hulk.
WW.
Boom.
Except not end it lame with gamma ray leaching beams that shoot him.
Yeah, you just have Hulk win, and then you end the entire Marvel movie franchise.
That would be awesome. Like, if
then
they
you
really,
reboot it after that.
If they really were done, yeah, Hulk just kills everybody. Actually, no. He kills everyone, right?
Marvel Universe, Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, he kills the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then he dies of his wounds because like he's been taking all this damage. And then you do Marvel Zombies before the reboot.
Oh yeah, Marvel, where everyone just like kicks back and has fun with all their characters.
And then Rick Grimes comes in there and he's like, Hulk.
Banner. Strange.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go to Hollywood. We got our plan set.
Come on, Banner, I got things.
Instead of Carl, it's a Carol.
Betty.
Betty, what happened, Carol? My name is Miss Marvel, you idiot.
And I just punches him in the face. My jaw. But yeah, that's the Marvel Universe I hope for. So,
I like it already.
Yeah.
I think it's better than anything Kevin Fergalicious could do.
I don't know. He's planning out to 2028.
Oh, my God. Like, what could they possibly have planned that far out? Like, Downey is undoubtedly going to be done with the franchise.
Yeah. The way I see it, and I was explaining this to a friend a couple of days ago, was maybe like after, like Phase 3, because it's like you said, like Downey's probably going to be done. We're not going to have Evans. A lot of these guys are probably going to be moving on. So it's like the perfect place to have like the new Avengers, that kind of world, or after the original Avengers team in the comic books, like they moved on and you had new guys coming in. So it could be something like that they could be setting up.
I know what they should do.
What?
Age of Squirrel Girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Howard the
I will
Duck.
be all over that.
Okay.
Because he's like one of those. He has a huge, nut for a squirrel girl.
Nice. They should have a young Patriot, the first new Avenger.
I actually wouldn't be against that.
Now they could probably do Runaways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even like a young Avengers movie. That'd be awesome.
It would be really awesome that, unfortunately, Fox would do, but they wouldn't do it well. And I don't know if Marvel would do it, but Thunderbolts.
Oh, my God.
Thunderbolts would be awesome. Well, I guess Marvel owns the rights to most of those characters, though.
Well, okay, with the current team, you'd have Red Hulk,
Yeah.
Punisher,
Mm.
Elektra, Ghost Rider.
Oh, Ghost Rider's on it.
He's in the
Not the
one
base.
ongoing right
Not
now.
the base.
Let's recast Ghost Rider.
No. Nicolas Cage would be somebody.
Who else is on? Venom. So maybe
so
not
Sony's
him.
got him.
And not Deadpool.
And
Yeah,
not
no,
Deadpool.
Fox has got Deadpool.
Never mind. I don't want this movie.
That's what I was saying. That's why, afterwards, wait, they're all split up. Maybe they could all come together. Maybe that would be the uniting factor.
Yeah.
They're just like, all right, you want money, we want money, you want money, let's all get money.
Well, if they can do what they did, because at the end of Captain America, they do, "This is the age of miracles, mein Führer." And then they show Wanda and Pietro.
Yeah.
Spoiler. Shit.
Wait, what? I didn't see that.
I can't help myself.
Did Quicksilver have a stupid utility belt and a silver jacket?
No, he was just pinging off
with
the
silver
bing,
hair.
bing, 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 bing,
I
bing.
found the perfect thing. Oh man, I wish I had the link to post in the chat.
Let me finish.
Okay.
If they can do whatever the age of miracles, people with miracle powers, Miracle Whip,
Miracle Whip. That's a perfect tie-in.
Miracle Grow.
Milk will grow.
Do you have a?
Then why can't they do that with with Deadpool or any of the other X-Men? Instead of the X-Men, call them the Miracle Men.
Then they get sued again.
No, they own the rights to Miracle
Oh,
Men.
do
They're
they?
re-releasing it.
Well, then they'll just
issue 4 now.
They'll just have an angry Alan Moore then. But no, but the reason...
I actually have the issues. It says the author is the author. Written by the author.
Wow. They didn't even give him credit. Wow.
No, because he didn't want it.
Oh, he didn't want it?
Yeah,
Oh,
he didn't
okay.
want credit.
They should have just made up a name.
It's like the author and I forget who the artist was.
They should have called him Balin Thor.
It's kind of like what they did with him in Watchmen.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was like the author and Dave Gibbons.
He's pretty much Michael Jordan from like the 90s in video games where he's just called the player.
Yeah, the player. Yeah.
They're player one. But yeah, I really forgot what I was going to say now. But I had found some article and they were making fun of the Quicksilver picture. And there's like the mascot that Burger King had in the 90s. And literally he looks just like it. Like I'll have to find it and post it because it looks ridiculous. But
so that picture that I'm seeing with Quicksilver holding the burger, that's not Quicksilver?
No, that is Quicksilver.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's what's even funnier now that you point that out, that he looks like he's based off of a Burger King mascot, and then he literally is doing a Burger King advertisement.
Well, I think he's doing an Arby's advertising.
Well, there's a Burger King one, too, where it's like it shows what his fast speed is going to look like. And, yeah, it
looks so dumb, though.
It looks terrible. He's, like, eating the bacon while it's, like, falling in slow motion, and the drinks are spilling everywhere. Man, I want to like X-Men so bad. Come on, Fox, don't do this to me, bro. But yeah, he looks awful. I don't even know why they even want to put him in the movie. It's just like really, like you don't have like 50 more mutants to deal with already. Like, you really need more. I don't know.
You never have too many mutants.
I agree that you can't, but in a feature film that lasts about 120 minutes. What's that?
I said that sarcastically.
Yeah, I know. But even so, apparently they're not taking it sarcastically. They're like, yeah, I know, right? You know? They're like, yeah, that's totally a great idea. We need more mutants.
Yeah, more mutants must mean more dollar signs.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, Scarlet Witch said no more mutants, but we took it the other way and decided to have all the mutants you want.
Yeah, it was the opposite day.
Yeah. Oh, man, I got to find this picture. I want to show it to you guys so bad. Oh, I found it. Perfect. So I'm just going to ramble on while this stupid thing loads up. But anyway, so outside of the Marvel Universe, something that's really awesome that I'm really looking forward to, what Bruce Timm is going to do a Batman, the animated series-ish short.
Yes.
And it's going to be epic because everything he does is epic.
What?
Yeah, and he made the real Batman. I can't find in this article who the voice is going to be. But if it's not Kevin Conroy, then I'm gonna riot.
I don't want to live.
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody mention who's voicing the characters.
I really hope it's one of those deals where there's like, come on, is there any other choice? We don't even have to tell you who it is. Like, right. I hope that's the case. Damn it.
Yeah. Anything Bruce Timm, please just give me as much Bruce Timm as possible.
Yeah, definitely. Because it's like it would be cool. If it was like, if he was actually doing like a new series or something like that, but
if only.
Yeah, unfortunately that's not the case, but it's like, well, this is pretty much as good as we're going to get, so, might as well bigger. I mean, it's like we pretty much have this or nothing. So we might as well be, satisfied with it.
Nothing.
Yeah. Well, it's also it was announced last October. I don't know if it actually ever aired, but he was also doing a Batman Beyond short for DC Nation.
Ah. I'm not as big a fan of Batman Beyond, but I would still be interested in checking it out.
Yeah. I love Batman Beyond as a kid. I remember when it came out when I was in the 8th grade. But hey, like I said, anything Bruce Timm, just work it over.
Yeah, definitely. So basically, what they have here is it's gonna be called Batman Strange Days, and it's gonna be taking on Hugo Strange. And a mysterious Solomon Grundy-like giant. Oh, who is... No, wait, yeah, and, not or. But, yeah. So it's going to be in sepia, like, the actual, like, short itself. So it kind of gives it, like, this really interesting look. And,
noir style?
Huh?
Like a noir style?
Yeah, kind of like that. So it looks really cool, and it's just like... It seems like everything they've picked for it like fits so well with his style, like where it's like, it's different than like they're like, okay, well he's gonna fight the Joker again. It's like it just seems like this is gonna be one of those ones that you don't want to miss. It's gonna be up there with like Mask of Phantasm, I think.
Yes,
that's pretty bold.
Yeah,
that's pretty bold, sir.
Hey, it's bold like the flavor of Burger King.
I once watched that movie 3 times in a row.
Nice.
From like 10 in the morning, like till 6.
Only 3, sir.
Yeah.
Only 3.
And one day, like back to back, I don't know, man. I remember nothing about that movie because I haven't seen it in so long. But I used to watch it all the flipping time. I mean, I was the same way with the Ninja Turtles movies.
Nice.
I didn't remember anything until like the last few months when my kids been like rigorously watching them like 3 times a day.
I guess I can't really complain because as a kid I watched Top Gun like every day until the tape committed suicide.
Oh,
and
man.
I know
it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
The only thing I remember about Top Gun is part where Tom Cruise, aka Maverick, has the dog tags and he's standing by the water and he just goes "Goose" and throws him into the ocean.
Goose, why do you have to go?
Yeah, that's pretty much all I remember. And you know what? That's all I need to remember. So I posted in the chat. Okay, so the character is called Kid Vid. And if you guys check it out, like that looks like he's.
Oh my god! I remember this. I used to have that toy as a kid.
Oh
God. Does he not look exactly like Quicksilver? He's got the glasses. He's got the utility belt. He's got the stupid hair.
He looks like a hipster from the future.
Someone from the future stealing your skinny jeans.
I am saving this because I'm going to be putting that all over the internet now.
It's one of those things where, like, man, I wish I came up with that, but because I knew he reminded me of something, but I couldn't put my finger on it. And then when I saw that, I'm like, that is so perfect. Like, that is exactly what he looks like. It's insane.
Oh my, yes. Yeah, I remember that kid, but yeah, I used to have one of those toys as a kid.
I don't understand why he needs goggles. Like, that's the one thing I don't get. He's a mutant. His body is made to go fast. It'd be like if you had like the cheetah. You like they can go books like 120 miles an hour. You know? Cheetahs don't need goggles to go that fast. They just go. Their eyes acclimate to the rest of their body because they're made to kill at high speeds.
Well, that's the sad thing. It's like I doubt he even needs the goggles because judging by the rest of his outfit, he just probably thinks they look cool.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not like he's gonna. It's not like he's not gonna see dirt or flies like run into his eye. He's just gonna dodge it. He's just gonna move out of the way.
You know, wouldn't his goggles still just get dirty anyway?
Yeah,
yeah,
they would. It's ridiculous.
But it's cool. He can clean them really fast.
Oh yeah, that is actually a good point. You know, he just, it's like whenever he's running, his arms are acting. It's like windshield wipers on his goggles.
His hair will just fly forward and like whip everything out of the way.
Maybe they have their own windshield wipers built in.
Yeah, the only mutant I know that 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 needs the goggles is Cannonball because he's flying in the air.
Yeah,
the air's in his eyes, so obviously he needs the goggles. But he's running on land. Quicksilver's running on land. He doesn't need them.
Yeah, well, Cannonball's different because he's only explosive from the waist down.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Hi-yo.
Yeah, but I am not a fan of this. I'm not really a fan of either version of Quicksilver. But this one is just like horrendous.
I love the design for the one in Avengers Age of Ultron. At least it's closer to the comic counterpart.
It is.
Unlike this guy.
It is, but like my thing is like the way they did Elizabeth Olsen's outfit for Wanda. It looks way more like what somebody would wear like on their weekend instead of like a uniform. Whereas when you look at Quicksilver, it's like he's trying to look like a hero of some sort.
See, I'm calling it now. I feel like it's going to be like the first Spider-Man movie where like he's kind of makes his own makeshift costume when he goes out the first time before he gets his official costume. I feel like they're going to get pulled into something, and that's just going to be like what they're wearing.
So he's going to kick acid?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I need a uniform.
Yeah, right. He's gonna order that shirt off the internet and put it on there. Then boot up his old MySpace, like someone's looking for a hero, and some dude's gonna videotape him fighting a bunch of dudes in the street, and his friend requester is gonna go up, and then he's gonna team up with Hit Scarlet Witch. It's gonna be amazing. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, like Agamemnon said, it's like it's infinitely better by comparison. But had Fox not set the bar so low, it'd be like, all right, come on, we can do better than this.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to play into the story. That's why I'm giving it that much credit.
Yeah, because right now we've only seen like them from the set photos. Maybe it's somewhere where like they're trying to escape, so maybe it's just what they had on at the time or something.
Yeah, I really feel like he's going to be like at the gym or something, and all of a sudden he has to run out and go do something.
He's got to run out in his he's got to run out in his like fashion clothes
yeah.
and his goggles.
I feel like
and his headphones.
Oh no, I was talking about the Avengers one.
Oh
no, I don't even know how they're gonna explain it. I think he's just gonna be like, well, he's from the '80s, so yeah, this is what the way
got like a
looks.
mixer on his belt, like it's got the little. It's ridiculous.
That's how he orders his Burger King, and then he runs to go pick it up right when they get the order. He looks so bad that I'm actually excited to see what he's going to look like. Like, just out of morbid curiosity. It's like when traffic is really slow and you're like, all right, this wreck has got to be crazy. Like, that's how I feel about, the X-Men Days Future Past Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Just go ahead, show me the funny. I'm ready for it. So, kind of moving on from the Marvel and DC universes, this is more video game news, but since SFC is suspended indefinitely, or at least until Agamemnon makes the episode.
Yeah.
So this is more video game news with UFC, EA, or EA UFC. And the reason why this is relevant because they announced a new character that is available via pre-order, and it's going to be Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
So as the UFC president Dana White calls the godfather of MMA. So I'm pretty excited about that. Because it's like they could easily just throw in playable characters that are just lame, where it's like, yeah, these guys don't even fight,
Yeah.
They could throw in like a ring announcer or something like that. But to actually, assuming the fighting engine ends up being really good, to actually be able to finally have a good Bruce Lee character to play as, that's not a rip-off of Bruce Lee, that's not Fei Long or the various other ones that they've had in other games, but one that's like, this is actually Bruce Lee.
Martial.
Martial Law, Forrest Law, the guy from Dead or Alive.
what was his name?
Like Jang Lee or something.
Jang Lee, yeah.
Breeze Liu. But to actually have the legit Bruce Lee, because they made that Bruce Lee game for the Xbox like years ago.
Yeah, that was like one of the first games for the Xbox. It was like Bruce Lee.
The Legend Continues or something.
No, it was like Path of the Dragon or something like that.
Path of Dio.
I remember playing it at. This is how long ago it was. What was it used to be? Electronic something.
Electronic Boutique?
Yeah, Electronics Boutique. That's what it was at the freaking mall next to like the sleep store.
And Sleep Number is $25.
I went in there and right when we walk in, they had the Xbox set up, and I was like, "Is this dude, Bobby Beetle? Is this a Bruce Lee game?" And he was like, "Oh, dude, let's play." So we were like playing it, and it was like okay, but it's like, why is Bruce Lee running through a forest kicking ninjas?
Why not?
Well, yeah, there's that too, but it's like he's Bruce Lee. He's not like a character. He's Bruce Lee on some kind of magical quest to find the missing nunchucks.
See, what disappoints me so much about that game is I wish they would have made obviously if more production would have went into it and they would have made it more like Shenmue, where it's like this action RPG. Like, I don't know, it could have been really awesome, or even like a more modern game like Sleeping Dogs, but with Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Well, that would be cooler, but he wouldn't be a cop. He'd just be like some wandering drifter. They killed my sister.
You've offended my family, and you've offended the Shaolin Temple. Huh. But I don't know. I mean, they could have him playing a character, but he's pretty much just Bruce Lee playing Bruce Lee.
You have offended your own honor.
You have offended your own offense. So I don't know, but I think Bruce Lee. I'm just excited. Like I was somewhat excited for this game. I'm still on the fence because I don't know how they're going to get the grappling down, and the overall fighting engine of the EA MMA was just nah. So if the years it's taken for them to develop it, if they finally got it right, getting to do like 1-inch punches and just Bruce Lee flying sidekicks through like an octagon, that would be awesome.
I mean, because they got the rights back in late 2012, if I remember right, back in December.
Well, EA never had the rights. After THQ went down, then they're like, all right, we'll do... Like, the UFC was all pissed off that EA didn't want to do it at first.
Uh-huh.
And so they started bad-mouthing them. The second THQ went in, they're like, oh, yeah, now we're going to get the best one. EA's the
but
best.
I think that was at the end of 2012 is when THQ went under. And EA had acquired the rights.
Yeah.
To use the game, and I remember the press conference. Yeah, they're great guys. I believe they make the Madden games and NBA and blah 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 blah. Shut up. And I mean, it's taken most of 2013, and now we're like almost halfway into 2014. We've been working on this game for a good while.
Yeah,
let's hope it's good.
Yeah, it better be. I don't know. Like, they've had so many other ones to like pull from that by the time, like, at this point, if it's not good, then it's just never going to be good.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's coming out later this year. I think they said like spring, so it might be right around the corner. But either way, it's on PS4, which I don't have, so I won't be playing this anytime soon, unfortunately, because I'm not shelling out $400. Not even for you, Bruce. Not even for you. I'll just watch Game of Death instead. But anyway,
moving on.
So moving on to having it all good, man, with Saul Goodman's show, Better Call Saul. So they've announced like a list of characters that are going to be in it. Right now, Aaron Paul is kind of still rumored. And supposedly Mike Ehrmantraut's character, Jonathan Banks' character, Mike Ehrmantraut, is supposed to be in the show. So they've announced a guy that's going to be named Dr. Thurber, a brilliant attorney in his 50s, who's now restricted by an unusual affliction. Beth, another successful lawyer whose already difficult life is complicated by romantic entanglements with somebody else at the firm. Bert, a Kennedy type who's winning at life in addition to being named partner at the firm. Eddie, a smart and calculating criminal who knows the ropes. Twin brothers Zach and Luke, a duo who spend their days skateboarding and scamming. So, these characters on paper sound all that interesting, except for maybe the Kennedy type, especially if he talks like Kennedy. He's just like, "Alright, we need some meth, alright." So I don't know. I'm excited, but like the more I think about the show, the more I'm just like kind of nervous. It's just like Breaking Bad was so epic, and it's like there's no way it's going to be as good as Breaking Bad. I always feel like they're going to try and capitalize off of what was good about that show and just kind of like sully the name, where it's just going to be like that bad spinoff that everyone was excited for, and it just tanks within a couple episodes. So, I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, same here. And I'm still just wondering how exactly they would have Aaron Paul in it. Because, like, wasn't it in Breaking Bad, that's where they actually met. So, like, how would he actually work in this spinoff?
I'm guessing he's just not going to actually interact with Saul directly, because the whole thing is like he knew of him, because like his friend was the one that Saul had. I mean, an unnamed friend was one that Saul had got out of jail several times. So they can still have Pinkman as like a low-level drug dealer, and I guess maybe he'd like indirectly some of his dealings overlap with some clients that Saul's representing or something. Like maybe he hears about Saul, but they never actually meet. But yeah, I really hope that they don't end up like retconning or contradicting anything.
Right. That's something you're always afraid of.
Yeah, I really hope of all the characters, they better bring back Huel. If Huel's not back, I'll be very disappointed.
I know. I agree. I totally agree.
They should have just had Better Call Huel. That's the spinoff they should have made. It's his adventures. It's like the fantasies he had. Like it just starts off in the scene where he jumps on the giant pile of money. And then it's just like this goes into like this dream sequence, and like it's just like one season long of just him imagining what he'd do with all that money. And it's just like every episode is like a different this like fantasy. Like one he's like a drug kingpin, one he's like a rapper or whatever, and just like different Huel fantasies.
Yes, I would watch that show so badly.
Hollywood. See, I don't know, Luis. We need to write Hollywood because they need to hire us because obviously we know what we're doing.
Exactly. They got the wrong people in charge of that.
They really do. I mean, come on, Michael Bay. Come on. But
Michael Bay just stick to being like the special effects boom, explosion guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, when we need explosions, we'll call you Mr. Bay.
Yeah, he should be the guy from Tropic Thunder that Danny McBride played. That's what Michael Bay should stay, when it comes to movies.
That would be so great. Yeah, they should roll him out of like one of those Hannibal masks, and it's like, Michael Bay, do your work. And they just unhook him, and he just starts making stuff blow up.
Kaboosh.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that commercial? I forgot what he was what he was promoting. But it was a commercial where he was making fun of himself, where like he was like exploding everything, in where he lived.
That sounds really familiar. I don't remember it that distinctly though. But yeah, I don't know. It sounds hilarious. Like, in The Simpsons, where Homer keeps like setting everything on fire. Like he's trying to cook breakfast for Mr. Burns, and like the toast catches on fire, and then like waffles catch on fire, and finally he just pours a bowl of cereal, and that catches on fire. Like I imagine that's Michael Bay's reality, where everything just blows up. He's like, hold on, let me get something out of this bubblegum machine, and it just blows up in his face, and he just flies back 50 feet, like dusts himself off, and keeps on going with his day.
You have a car accident, but nothing happens. Guy gets out, just walking in the middle of the street, suddenly, kaboom!
Yeah, exactly. He's just like,
nowhere.
He makes a really bad quip, like, man, it's hard to catch a cab in these cities.
What?
He was there, wow. But anyway,
awful.
So I know how much Agamemnon loves not Game of Thrones, Hunger Games of Thrones.
Because I do love Game of Thrones, actually.
Yeah, I just spoiled my own reveal. So Hunger Games, Mockingbird 2 as cast member of Game of Thrones. She is going to be playing, as I stall for time, the role of Commander Lime. So I don't know who that is because I have not read more than the first book, but I'm so excited because she's going to be played by the. What's that?
I actually just watched the Catching Fire last Saturday.
Oh, did you?
I enjoyed it. It was a good movie. I like the action better than the first.
Oh yeah, well you could actually see the action in this movie. It wasn't just shaky cam. But yeah, it was a much, much, much better film. But yeah, so they're gonna have Gwendolyn Christie, who's better known as Brienne of Tarth, and she's gonna be joining the cast of the Hunger Games. So I'm excited about that because she's one of my favorite characters in Game of Thrones.
She's just gonna win.
Well, she's part of like the Resistance. Because if you're listening,
well, then she's won already.
You are the Resistance. Well, I'm pretty sure they do win. That would be kind of funny though. They just ended on a downer and just everyone dies.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't do that to the kids.
Wouldn't they?
Well, if everybody dies, then nobody will have to worry about anybody being hungry ever again.
That is true. Death,
more food for me.
Death does satiate all hunger forever.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the worms would be hungry after they ate all the bodies.
That might, depending how good that one does, that might make me go back and revisit the second film.
You should. Okay, like all the gripes I'm sure you had with the first film, you probably will have less of them for the second film. Because it's legit. I mean, it's not great. It's not Captain America Winter Soldier by any stretch of the imagination.
By the way, I think maybe one more viewing. Because I'm already on the I don't all the Blu-rays that I do own. I've got them for like $10 or less.
Yeah.
Boondock Saints was like $20 for like the longest time, and then all of a sudden it's $7, and I pounced on it.
Yeah.
But oh my god, dude! I was trying to buy some Disney collection movie, like Monsters Inc., Toy Story. They're all $25, $35. This is ridiculous. I'm not gonna pay that much money.
Welcome to the age of Blu-ray, sir.
Oh, dude, my god. Anyways,
sometimes
at this point, this movie is so good that when it does come out in Blu-ray, I think I'm going to have to pay $35 for it.
There was one movie that came out that you're almost obligated, being the big Cap fan that you are.
Yeah.
It's like Marvel's we made this movie for you.
I know.
You better buy it.
That's how I feel.
It's like you're going to go to the checkout line and you're going to have second thoughts and start putting it back, and this shield is going to just hit you in the face. And you're going to see Captain America you better buy that movie, soldier. You're like, I'm sorry, Mr. Evans.
Who are you? I'm Captain America. I was like, well, then who am I?
Can you please suture this wound? Because I think I'm about to bleed out. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's a piece of my brain. Oh.
I think I'm hallucinating now. This really hurts. Sorry, sometimes I don't know my own strength. Really didn't see my muscles bulging out of my Under Armour shirt. Shameless
really,
plug.
you didn't see the people that I swatted away like so many flies.
Yeah, right. I remember when I was sending you that video where it shows I don't know if it's his intro from Ultimate Marvel, and Cap is sitting there with a shield, and this helicopter blades hitting the shield.
Yeah. That's from the Vanilla Marvel intro. Yeah.
It's just
one of my favorite ones. So good.
It was hilarious. Dude, I stopped a helicopter blade with a shield. All right.
Look at this shield. Not a nick.
Yeah.
Not a scratch on it, pal.
Didn't even get nipped.
I'm Captain America. Don't mess with me.
I mean, hell, he survived a 20-story fall because he landed on his shield.
He survived 60 years in ice. I'm upset.
Everybody, it's not even the super soldier serum. It was just the shield. It was shielding off all of the aging. It's this doesn't make sense. Not even by comic book standards. Not even by 60s comic book standards.
I got you.
Yeah, see, ice kept him warm all this time. It was all Luis.
Yeah, right.
You're welcome.
Speaking of that, that's my favorite part of Ultimate War. When Cap is fighting Wolverine,
God, yes.
and then all of a sudden Iceman comes in and puts him back on ice.
Yeah, and then he makes a little pun.
Yeah. That reference was for you, Luis.
Thank you. It's funny because I think last year I was going through my collection. I was like, "Oh, cool, Ultimate War." I remember loving this, and I was looking through it again just so I can find that scene where Iceman comes back, and they're like, "Sir, there's something coming like at 120 miles per hour." It's like, "What is it?" He's like, "It's the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man." What do you think it is?
Nice. Oh, the Ultimate Universe.
I wish they could do references like that, like in the Marvel movie verse, where they can still like reference Spider-Man, but even though they can't have,
at least
we know he's there.
They should just like make references to him and change the name. Like, man, so just your friendly neighborhood spider dude. Just dub everything over, and just like Wolverine would be like the honey badger.
Yeah,
just make these really crappy versions of all of them,
or put like a little billboard in the background for like a Spanish novella, and it's just a dude like in a red and blue suit, and it says "Hombre Araña."
Oh man, that'd be so great. I don't know. Like I've seen this before, and it's just like I don't understand why it would be that difficult for them to like lease certain characters. Because it's like they can either do one where they can profit share on the movie, or they can be like, all right, give us like $3 million and you can use this character for this movie.
Yeah.
Because it's like, at the end of the day, especially if you're Sony and Fox. Because if you're Sony and Fox, you have Wolverine and the Avengers. You don't think even more people are going to come out to see your movie?
Yeah.
And so you're pretty much getting paid once, and then you're getting free advertising for your movie that's coming out later.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even explain it. Like, it's just like...
But not only that, but it's like, okay, well, you're this big studio, like Sony Pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you hire Marvel Studios to make their own movie they lease to you, and you just kind of lease it back to them?
And then you just sit there, and step 3, profit.
Profit, exactly. Lease.
Then you're Scrooge McDuck just swimming in the money.
Exactly. Because you think that would be even better for Sony? Because it's like, they don't even have to. They don't even have to do anything. Yeah, they can literally just be like, "Hey, Marvel, I heard you like Marvel movies, so why don't you Marvel your Marvel and then get a lot of money?" And it's like, yeah, because you already know Spider-Man movies are going to make money. But it's like, why not make them make even more money? Because it's like, yeah, when you tie it into the greater Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's like the only place you have to go from there is up. And I don't mean that Pixar movie.
The thing is that Fox hates free advertising, and the thing about that is that it's whenever I've uploaded videos to Facebook, like for like any trailers for like Spider-Man or X-Men, Facebook has taken it down. Like, oh, you don't have rights to this, blah blah blah. And it's always been anything Fox. But whenever I put up trailers, like from Thor and like anybody else, never notice. Only with Fox. So it's just it's like Fox, like we're helping you out here. We're spreading the word. So what exactly is it that you don't like with free advertising?
Yeah, you make a very good point. Because I remember when I was reading about X-Men the Animated Series and why it got canceled. Like, I don't have any confirmation. My source is Wikipedia. So first of all, just take it with a grain of salt. But according to Wikipedia, the reason why they canceled X-Men the Animated Series, despite it being like the highest rated show in that time slot, doing perfectly well despite the last season kind of sucking. But they said it was because they didn't own the show, which I think is even more ironic since they do own the rights to X-Men now. But just that was all. They wanted to own the rights to whatever show was going to be in that time slot. So since they didn't own it, they canceled it. So it's like, okay, it would be the equivalent of like if you had a basketball team. It's like, well, we're doing really good. We just won the playoffs, but we don't have this one player we want, so we're just going to sell the team.
Yeah.
It's like, but it's already doing what you want it to do. Like, why does it matter? You know. I don't know. It's just Fox suck. Fox, you suck at everything you do. Don't touch my X-Men anymore.
We hate you. Bring back Firefly.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
We're still salty.
Yeah, we'll forever be salty. So, here's kind of a topic. It's not. It kind of fits in line with what we usually talk about, but well, I'll start off with the first part. So apparently, Letterman's retiring. Yeah, it's not all gets sad at once because nobody cares.
The end.
But no, this is the part where this is what makes it relevant. But supposedly they're thinking about having Stephen Colbert fill in for him. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
My heart just skipped a beat, sir.
So I'm guessing it's is it the Tonight Show, the Late Night Show,
the late night show,
night?
I think the Late Show with David Letterman.
Yeah, the Late Show.
Yeah, one of those. That shows you how much I watch the show because I've never seen it ever. But it would definitely be a big pay raise for Colbert. The The only thing that would suck is, would he still be Colbert, like the character Stephen Colbert? Or would he actually just be like a regular host?
Yeah.
And if that was the case, that would kind of suck, you know?
Yeah.
So...
that's a good question.
Because that's the thing, like, it would be awesome. I would be happy for him, like, for his, like, own career to be like, all right, now you've jumped up to, like, this coveted spot. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know, like, the Colbert Report is so great as it is already. Like, it would suck for him to have to leave that behind just to do, like, a traditional news show, or not news show, but talk show that everyone already does, you know, after having something that's been unique and so good for so many years. And the fact that apparently it takes so much time, because I know he was the voice of one of the characters on Venture Brothers, and he had to stop doing that just because, like, his show was taking up that much time. So,
Yeah.
I don't know, for something that's, like, that important, that you can't even, like, I don't know, do,
Yeah,
like,
he played
one
the
Professor Impossible?
Yeah, the Mr. Fantastic ripoff.
Yeah. And
that seems weird, because, like, you know, like, you know, Colbert's and like all these guys, they're only Monday through Thursdays.
Mm-hmm.
Although even though they don't air Fridays, you know, usually they still come in and still work. But I'm sure that he could have done something like, you know, like on the weekends or something. Because I mean, look at Patrick Warburton, like the guy's voice is, you know, on so many shows, and you know, it's mostly done on the weekends, you know, or whenever he has off time. Because when it comes to voicing, it doesn't take that much time, especially you know on a 20-minute show. Usually you're in for like 20-30 minutes and you're out.
Yeah, that's
even less if you have less lines.
Yeah, that's the thing that I thought was really interesting about when I read that comment. Like, I don't know, maybe it wasn't so much he didn't have time, but he didn't want to make time. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty comfortable eating all these South Carolina peaches, so I don't really feel like going into the studio. But I don't know. I mean, it just kind of sucks. I really like that character. But yeah, but I could have sworn he was the voice of some other character pretty recently. I mean, he found time to be an extra in The Hobbit. Can't find time to be in the Venture Brothers. Come on, Colbert, better than that.
Who knows?
Blood Ocean says, "Well, look at Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon. Worked out great for them." Well, that's debatable.
You know, I mean, Jimmy Fallon is really taken off with his role on the Tonight Show, and for some reason he's got this huge following. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just like in the dark.
I love Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, seeing people. People love Jimmy Fallon. My cousin, she loves Jimmy Fallon. Even like back to his old SNL days. Like,
yeah.
Partly because he's cute. Like she was in the little duo of like Jason Schwartzman, Jimmy Fallon. I forgot who the other dude was that she was infatuated with. But like Jimmy Fallon's like her like love interest. Like if he showed interest in me, I'd dump my husband now and go with him. And now he's like this huge deal now. You know, like you never like if you thought like if you ever like just happened to be surfing Cinemax and Taxi showed up and with Jimmy Fallon and Queen Latifah, you wouldn't sit there and think like one day that dude is going to be running the Tonight Show and everyone's going to be fucking pissed.
Well, hell, even going back to like the Man Show, if you're like, all right, Jimmy Kimmel or Adam Carolla, who's funnier, who's going to take off?
Everyone obviously, well, of course, Adam.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden it's like, nope, you're doing Brand Muffin commercials. Jimmy Kimmel, you're hosting the Tonight Show.
You're doing Brand Muffin commercials, and you got a mildly successful podcast. About lumber.
Yeah.
About carpentry and comedy.
Yeah, because he had like some other show on like one of those like History Channel, like one of those reality type shows.
Yeah, it was a pretty good show. I saw a couple episodes on the River City Hobos suggestion.
Oh yeah,
rest in peace. But yeah, I mean it wasn't a bad show, but I think it only lasted like a season.
Yeah.
And then he made a podcast about it, and it's still going
like all his shows.
Yeah.
So sad.
I think it's called like the Adam Carolla Experience or something. Oh, no, that's Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't know. It's something with his name.
I think it's just called Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
Please listen to my show because I need attention.
This is me. I am Adam Carolla. I have a pristine penis.
But either way, I don't know. Like, yeah, definitely Colbert it would be good for his career. And I mean, yeah, like Blood Ocean 07 mentioned, like Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon, it was worked well for their careers. But to me, it's like they weren't really doing much beforehand compared to Colbert. Like, people already know who he is. He already is doing something successful.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. I mean, and it would bring in new fans, because I would probably watch it. Because it's like, all right, I never had any interest in that show before.
Yeah.
but it's Colbert, so now I'm interested.
You know, which is funny because when Conan took over, I was actually really avid.
Oh, yeah.
I was really avid watching The Tonight Show. And then all of a sudden, 7 months later, he's off. And then, he showed up on TBS, and I was watching that for a good while. Like the first 2 months, I think I was watching just about every episode with all his pistachios. But I can't concentrate. But then I kind of fell off, and but every now and then I still catch it. But it's like I never go out of my way to watch Letterman. I don't go out of my way to watch Jimmy Fallon or Jimmy Kimmel. The only thing I like on Jimmy Kimmel, and I'll catch it on YouTube, is the celebrities read tweets, rate their own rage tweets.
Yeah. You know what's funny you mentioned that because my friend just told me about that last Saturday. Because I don't watch Jimmy Kimmel. Like the only thing I ever seen him usually it's like the Oscar show because I would just leave the TV on.
Yeah.
But my friend showed me that last Saturday. Oh my god, it's so hilarious.
Yeah. It's funny because it's just people like reading tweets, and one of them I think it was geared. Who was it geared towards? But he was actually an editor for Giant Bomb who had died last year. I don't think they knew what they were reading. They just saw a tweet, but it was geared towards a certain actor, and they read it off and seven. And the guy was known as being like a troller. He trolling people at the office and friends and people on Twitter. So it's like, and then people that knew. What was that guy's name? But he died like 2 weeks after he got married, which it was real kind of sad. But it's like, oh look, I'm still trolling people a year after death or something like that. So it was pretty funny to see that. But yeah, man, it's just like what was it? One with who the hell was it? Somebody with teeth. Like their thing is teeth.
Tony Robbins.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Gary Busey. That was Habib in the background. I don't know. Somebody just
Steve Harvey.
Oh, it's Jessica Biel.
Huh.
And she was
Never
like,
would have guessed her.
I hate Jessica Biel because she's got horse teeth.
Oh,
and then Jessica Biel just goes.
Nice.
And it was just a bunch of stuff like that.
I don't think I've ever noticed her teeth.
Yeah.
I didn't even know she had teeth. I assumed they were there. I haven't seen them.
Yeah, nobody's paying attention to the teeth. I don't know who that guy must be invented because nobody looks at her teeth.
Yeah, right. Maybe her dentist. Even
and then Will Ferrell was reading a bunch of his own while sitting on the toilet with his pants down.
That was so awesome. It's like this is true. I'm like I am a fool.
I kind of like Will Ferrell can go eat shit and die, and he was like, "I'll die" or something. It was just something hilarious. But then like there's other people who like look like they're trying too hard. Like, I think there was one with Kristen Bell, and she like raged out or something. I was just like, yeah, okay. Obviously, this is now. I put the whole thing into question. Like, this is all a setup.
Yeah,
but the tweets are real.
The tweets are real.
It was real.
No
cool.
actors have been changed.
The only other funny one, and I still have trouble wondering if this is like a ruse or if it's like a real thing. But I guess there was like a running joke between Matt Damon and Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh yeah.
And
was it when he like flips out on him?
Yeah, because he has him on the show, but like the last 10 seconds, and then he comes on, and he was like, "Well, that's the show," and it really was the end of the show. And Matt Damon's like, "Come on!" He's like flipping out, and he just walks off.
Yeah, I think it was just a ruse because he came back on like later, and he was doing some other like thing or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing that on YouTube, and I was like, "Is that for real?" Because then I thought he had
the
invited
Oscar
him
goes to.
I thought he had invited him, yeah, exactly. He invited him another time, and he ended up declining. Like he hadn't been back since then.
Yeah, I can't remember. I remember reading about it a while back, but
Matt Damon and Jimmy Kimmel are like BFFs.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
What about the Fleck?
Oh, I never would have known.
Matt Damon.
What about the Fleck?
Exactly. What about him? He's Batman.
Well, now he's not my Batman.
No, he's not my Batman either.
Yeah, there was that obviously tweet that Jimmy Kimmel wrote for that bit about Matt Damon. It's like no disrespect to Ben Affleck.
Nice. Ben Affleck. They should have cut to him like at home, like crying, like sobbing into like a tissue.
Why couldn't they make me? I was in the Bourne movies. I'm an actual action star.
Yeah, all right.
Come on, I did help out. With that movie we won an Oscar for Good Will Hunting.
Oh, Good Will Hunting.
Oh yeah,
I co-wrote it with like 4 other people.
You know when that guy said the word "the," I wrote that one.
Yeah, right.
I started that sentence.
Hey, you know the part that has my name in the script? I wrote that in.
I put my name on there.
Yeah.
Actually, I had somebody write it for me. But the suggestion of me doing it gives me all the credit.
It's like that Family Guy where they're making fun of it. And, like, Matt Damon's actually typing it up, and then Ben Affleck's, like, laying on the couch or whatever.
He's like, come on, help me think of something.
He's like, pitch me a line. He's like, that's not a line. You just farted. He just starts laughing.
I hate that guy.
I don't know. I think it's funny how now he's actually, like, a respectable director.
Yeah, he's good. He's good stuff. I just don't
Hey, man, he starred in Argo. He was great.
He starred.
Hey,
he directed it good.
Hey, if Heath Ledger can do it.
I can sit there, too, with my elbows on my knees, looking stoically at a window.
But can he do it with a beard?
Well, I can if I get a different job.
All right, so we have our second to last topic. So this is the topic that's been sweeping the internet nation, and this is another one of those where I wish this was an April Fool's joke. But they have the casting for Leonardo for the Ninja Turtles movie.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's real?
It's going to be Johnny Knoxville.
Oh.
That's right, folks.
Well,
Wow, 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 wow,
I don't know what that is.
The Jackass theme.
That doesn't sound
very
like
butchered.
Jackass. Anyways, I'm pretty sure Luis is trying to say something.
No.
This news comes in like after the trailer comes out. It just makes you question, like, okay, if you guys are still, doing all this, like, why would we release the trailers when they already had some voices? So apparently, like, are some people being recasted, or what exactly is going on?
Maybe they're pulling a Gina Carano and they're just gonna have him redub the voice. But
Okay.
yeah, that really doesn't make any sense. Yeah, like, why are you still announcing casting like afterwards? But I don't know. It's terrible. Like, I'm already not excited for this movie, so I'm not that upset. But
Yeah.
the main thing that's like in my mind about it was I recently saw The Last Stand, not X-Men The Last Stand, but the Arnold Schwarzenegger The Last Stand, and Johnny Knoxville's a character in it. And I like the Jackass movies. I'll admit that. Like, they're funny to me. They're stupid, but they're entertaining. I don't like Johnny Knoxville in that capacity, but as an actor, he is atrocious, and he should never be cast as anybody. He should only be allowed to be Johnny Knoxville because he was so bad in that movie. Like, all right, it's already an Arnold movie, so you know what to expect. There's gonna be action. There's gonna be campy one-liners. It's gonna be silly. But that movie, yeah, exactly. Get to the chopper. But it was worse than I ever could have imagined. Like, there was not a single redeeming quality about that movie. The only thing that I liked about it was, like, Jamie Alexander's in it. And I was just so happy for her and her career that she ended up going to a better film franchise. I was just like, yes, you escaped this piece of garbage. And it's bad on so many levels. Like, one of the things that pissed me off the most is, like, it has this over-the-top, like the new Rambo movie where it's, like, this ultra-violence. And it's like that, mixed with slapstick comedy. Because you have Johnny Knoxville and some other character, and they're just really, like, I don't know. It's hard to even describe, like, the style of comedy, but it's just really dumb. It's like, I'm trying to think of an example. I don't know, like, for lack of a better example, like Austin Powers type comedy, but not even that funny. So maybe like Austin Powers, like the Gold Member or whatever. But anyway, basically just really, really bad comedy with really, like, I don't know, like gut-wrenching violence, terrible lines, terrible everything, and it's just like, I don't know, it just left a bad taste in my mouth is my main point. So it's just like, now just hearing Johnny Knoxville play anybody, like, I want no part of it. Like, I just don't, like, count me out. I'm done.
Leonardo of all people.
And it's like,
why not like Michelangelo?
Exactly, because when they announced it, I immediately thought that's who he's going to be.
Yeah.
And then, like, Leonardo was like,
or even Donatello.
What?
He could do like a geeky voice.
Yeah. But yeah, Leonardo makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know, Luis, you were saying something?
No, I agree that Michelangelo would make more sense.
And then, I think so it's like, so obviously I don't like Johnny Knoxville as an actor, but, maybe he could fit Leonardo, maybe. I'll just give him the benefit of the doubt. But then they show the cast, the guy who's going to be Shredder, and it's the guy who plays Monk, most known for Monk, Tony Shalhoub.
Tony Shalhoub?
Shalhoub?
Oh, like the detective Monk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's playing the Shredder.
He's going to be Shredder.
Like, physically.
Wait, Shredder?
Yeah. Which, the last time I checked, Shredder was Japanese, I thought.
No, he's going to be playing Splinter.
Oh, did I say Splinter? Oh, yeah, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
So.
William Finkter is playing Shredder, which is still a white guy.
Yeah, But yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, he's going to be playing Splinter. Like, really? Like, in no way, shape, or form is this guy even remotely, like, appropriate for this role.
Yeah, that's weird for him to be voiced. I mean, it's weird because it's, you know, I'm just trying to imagine Tony Shalhoub kind of voice Splinter. And it just sounds like, even in my head, it just sounds like just terrible.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know where they're trying to go with that. Okay, yeah, so basically Splinter's name is Hamato Yoshi. So, not really the right casting, you know? Just, I don't know. It's all sorts.
I'm not sure how it was originally in the comics. I'm just going by the 80s cartoon, because Splinter was just a rat. And, you know, the rat who, you know, and his master was the Japanese owner. So like I get, you know,
Master Yoshi.
If they got anybody, white guy, black guy, whatever, to voice Splinter, that's one thing. Because only in the current cartoon on Nickelodeon did they fuse them together, where the master became the rat through the mutation.
Oh, I see.
I'm not sure in the original cartoon.
I think they did, because I'm looking at Wikipedia, and they have a picture of the master. It says Yoshi mutating into Splinter in the opening credits of the 1987 cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the cartoon, yeah, but in the movie, I think, because I remember him explaining it in the first one. I used to watch my Master Yoshi every night doing karate. And then he got killed by Shredder.
He does karate.
He got killed by Master Shredder. That's even how that guy says it in the thing.
Oh, man.
I made the funny.
Yeah.
I made that funny.
But I'm guessing they're probably just not going to make Splinter Japanese at all, which in that case, it makes sense why they'd cast Monk. But either way, he just
I don't think Splinter ever was Japanese.
Yeah, that's what
I think they just adopted him as a pet. And then he was just like, "Oh, I like the way they talk."
Well, I mean, in the continuity of where the owner fuses with the rat, so the original cartoon.
I think he was originally Ecuadorian.
Well, either way, Monk still wouldn't fit. Now, if he was Colombian and he was a drug lord,
yeah,
then I could get down with that. Or if he was just like a meth kingpin,
yeah, and
the turtles were like his enforcers.
Somehow I'm waiting for Walter White to be mixed up into
Walter
this.
White's going to be Shredder. No, Leonardo, I cook. Jesse would have to be Michelangelo because he'd just be the annoying tag along.
Bebop, I shred.
Yeah. No, better yet, Aaron Paul is Krang. I'm Krang, bitch.
If they were Colombian, I think instead of a rat, we'd have a mule.
They have Danny Trejo.
Jesus.
Oh, it would be Tuco. Tuco would be Bebop. Yeah! Oh, that's great! Or better yet, Tuco would be, he would have to be one of the turtles.
Yeah.
He'd either be like Raphael or Michelangelo, like, Cowabunga!
It'd have to be Michelangelo.
Pizza!
This ooze, it's crazy, man. He's just like snorting the ooze, getting all high. Michelangelo, put that down. No way, man. And he gets killed in a shoot out with April O'Neil.
He's like, no, wait, what's his name? What's the rat's name again?
Splinter.
No, Splinter. I eat first. That's the deal.
Yeah, Splinter.
Grabbing like 2 slices of pizza.
Yeah, Splinter ends up being his uncle. No deal. Ding, 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 ding. Did these turtles do something to you, uncle?
Oh,
ding, ding, ding,
Blood
ding,
Ocean says Sulu should be Splinter.
Sulu?
As in like George Takei from Star Trek?
Ah.
Yeah. Good idea. Yeah,
that's not bad.
Great idea.
Dude, you could totally see like Shredder like, oh my. Whoa.
That'd be awesome.
Well, hello.
Yeah, hello.
I want the dude from The Last Samurai that's not Tom Cruise to be Splinter.
Ken Watanabe?
Yeah.
There you go.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I could get behind him.
I wanted to play...
Or even better, maybe he should have been Shredder.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, that would have been awesome. You say arigato?
Get an evil minority. That's how it works.
Always. So I got one more topic before we wrap this up. So we've been having a drought of World War Shia news.
So are we stretch? Is this a stretch then?
No.
Oh.
This is actual news, but it's not. I don't have a topic on here because I don't have the link. But the people that make the Honest trailers, one of the guys that works for them, I guess, interviewed Shia while he was doing his Blood Ocean said Ken Watanabe's busy fighting Godzilla.
Oh, he is.
Well, so is Heisenberg, so I guess they are a bit tied up. No, Godzilla, I destroy the city. But anyway, so when Shia was doing his art exhibit, his hashtag I'm no longer famous or hashtag I'm sorry, I can't remember which one it was, but when he was wearing the paper bag and he was having people wait in line and they could just sit there and pretty much just berate him, and he would just sit there and just look at him. Uh-huh. And it was this
with
weird...
With the bag on?
Yeah, with the bag on.
Okay.
So
he didn't want anybody to see the tears coming down.
Yeah.
Well, they bled through him.
Yeah. But, so basically, they have that exhibit, and so, this news crew goes in there, and the guy gets... Okay, so first of all, the video was kind of disappointing, because one, this guy has no idea how to operate a camera, and it felt like he was having an epileptic seizure the entire time. And then, two, he just genuinely was, not funny or endearing in any way, shape, or form.
Trying too hard.
Yeah. So, basically, he starts off by taking the bag off of Shia's head. So, you can see that it's actually him.
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there with, his eyes all red, looking like he's been crying, and just completely, stoic. His emotion never changes the whole time.
Yeah.
So, the dude starts off, and he's like, come on, Shia. What's going on, buddy? You started off so good in your career, and he starts playing a clip from Even Stevens, and you showed it to him. He's like, "This is the Shia I remember and I loved." He's like, and then you say you're sorry. I want you to apologize for Transformers, and you better apologize for Indiana Jones. And then Shia just has no selling, and he just keeps trying to annoy him, but he's just completely doesn't give him the time of day or anything. And so eventually he just leaves. He's like, this has been a waste of my time. You can't even answer my questions. Trying to get a rise out of him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't move at all.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of funny to see that it actually was him. Because, he easily could have just hired somebody to do a stand-in.
Yeah, yeah.
But the best part was, I was reading the comments and someone was like, LOL, he's supposed to be taking all this abuse, but he's got earplugs in the whole time.
Oh, does he?
And when you look at the video, he has these little orange earplugs in his ear, so he's probably heard not a word and gave not a shit about the whole thing.
Yeah.
So for that, I give Shia half a prop.
World War Shia.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Yeah, so that's their latest update on World War Shia. I still have not seen Nymphomaniac. I believe I mentioned on the last podcast that I would for you, the listeners, but unfortunately I have not had the opportunity to see it just yet. But I will. I'm going to try and see it before the next podcast. So wish me luck, because I really don't want to see Shia LaBeouf naked. But for you listeners, I'll do it. I will do it.
Completely naked?
I don't know if he's actually naked. I know there's a lot of nakedness in it. By the way, that was Sabiki chiming in. Now we've caught her interest.
After 60-plus episodes, she returns just to ask if Shia LaBeouf is naked.
After nearly 2 hours of podcasting, that's the first thing that's caught her interest. It's wait, Even Stevens is going to be nude?
She's been sitting here for 15 minutes.
She's like, when are you guys going to talk about the good stuff?
Where'd she go?
She wants Shia's goods.
What was that, Luis?
I don't think we actually ever had a physical word to word.
Oh, really?
You had no idea what I sounded like, huh?
That was right.
Yeah. I hear that. Is it going to be naked? I'm like, who the hell is that?
That was my son.
That's one we keep locked up when we do the podcast. She escaped and she got on the microphone.
I'm free!
Yeah, right. And the first thing I want to do with my freedom is see Shia naked.
She's basically halfway out the window. My freedom. Wait, is he naked?
Yeah, wait, hold on. Just has a seat, grabs a lap. When does he get naked?
So I have a feeling that if he is naked, it's going to be full frontal. However, he's going to have a paper bag over his dick.
So we don't know if it's him or not.
He's going to say, I'm sorry.
It's just going to say, I'm not hard anymore.
Yeah. He's going to have a sad face on it. It's going to start off with an empty paper bag. Just the movie progresses. It's well, my lunch is full.
By the end of it, it's just going to be soggy on the bottom.
He's going to throw it out to audiences during the premieres.
Oh.
This is the official bag that I wore. For you ladies, you can purchase it for $29.99. Plus shipping and handling. Yeah. No CODs.
Handling.
But I don't know. I actually was reading, I want to say it was The Statesman of all papers, and they actually gave it a good review. They said that, because there's a Volume 1 and Volume 2, and the way the first volume ends, it ends most movies that could easily be one movie end, where it's like, all right, this is a really cheap ploy to get you to watch the second movie.
Yeah.
But they actually said it was actually a good movie. And, I forgot what Lars Van, whatever his name is. Apparently they said like this looks like it might be one of his best movies. Mm-hmm. So it's actually not just like sexual exploitation. Like it's actually like, well, there's a movie behind all these boobs.
Yeah.
So
like Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. Hey. Wolf of Wall Street is a masterpiece.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. But even to question the wolf will get you bit.
I wasn't questioning. I said it's like Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Where it's got boobs and stuff and quaaludes upon quaaludes.
But
it's a pretty great movie.
It is It is a cinematic masterpiece, sir.
Yeah, I agree.
It makes me want to be an 80s guy. Sleaze my way to the top. You know what's funny about that movie is Leonardo DiCaprio's character was influenced by the movie Wall Street. So like
Money Never Sleeps.
Yeah, but
it's the first one, I guess.
Yeah, but it's just funny to me where it's like, so a movie about corruption, like a regular dude actually saw that and like, man, I want to be just like that. Yeah. So I wonder if like in like 20 years from now we're gonna have like another huge scandal and that guy's gonna be like, yeah, I watched Wolf of Wall Street, I thought that looks awesome, I want to do that. You know, and they're gonna make like another Wall Street movie and it's gonna keep perpetuating itself until we take over with Bitcoin, and we'll all be safe somehow.
Bitcoin, I'm positive it's going to collapse on itself.
Nah,
simply because Russia is not backing it.
No, we don't need the Ruskies. They're going to
be the world power in like 10 years.
Nah, that's what they said about China 10 years ago. Were you at China?
They're the new.
Don't be scared, homie. Were you at China?
China's like slowly taking. They're doing the subtle approach. They already own the world.
Nah,
Russia's trying to take.
They just own our debt. I can gladly have it.
They'll bankrupt us. I'm trying to think of something smart, okay? Give me some time, okay?
I don't know. You want to wager a Bitcoin on Bitcoin going under?
I'd like to wager a peso.
Sorry, sir. That is not the standard currency right now.
Do you take Chuck E. Cheese?
Buttons and a half a stick.
Do you take that then?
I'll wager a package of Lucas.
Lucas Limon?
No, that flavored like salt stuff.
Yeah,
they used to
yeah
sell.
Lucas Limon.
Oh, is that what it is? I thought that was a person.
No, it's a lemon flavor. Limon.
Hola, soy Lucas Limon.
Dude, that's an awesome name, right? I'm right. I own it now. Nobody take it. All 7 listeners don't take it. It's my name.
That was like a porn star chef.
Yeah, they had like Lucas Limon, Lucas Chili. So, well, I mean, the versions they sold to me were in Spanish.
Yeah.
So it was like limon in Chile, manzana.
I want to get a sponsorship from Lucas Limon.
Papas fritos.
This podcast brought to you by Lucas Limon.
You sound kind of French though.
Oh, because I'm Batroc the Leaper. It's all European. It's all the same. It's all Latin-based languages.
They're all white over there.
Oh, man. But that's pretty much all we got for today. Unless you got anything else, Agamemnon?
I don't. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Thanks for all the hearts from the 6 other people that I don't know who tuned in. I wish you could see the hearts, but like who hearted them? I'm pretty sure one was Luis and Blood Ocean. I mean, 2. But,
I see what you're talking about.
Yeah, we got like 6 hearts, and usually we have like 4 people, 5 people in the chat, and then we get like 7 hearts. Like, who are the other ones, and why didn't they stay longer?
Yeah.
What are hearts?
It's kind of like favorites, like you're favoriting the podcast on Mixler. So that's what a heart is.
Well, Luis, you got anything?
I got nothing.
Habiki?
I got
any more comments about the naked Shia LaBeouf?
No.
Yes, let's listen to this mostly silent person.
I'm so exciting. You don't know. You don't even understand the half of it.
They even made a song about it. So excited that I just can't hide it.
Yeah,
anyway.
I got nothing.
Yeah, she actually talks.
I talk. Yes.
Don't encourage her.
I talk too much. That's the problem.
But we'll try and have Habiki on more often and try and find enticing topics to satiate her palate.
We need to go back to the food blog, the food reviews, the food stories.
Oh, man. Hashtag old school. But,
Very.
But yeah, we'd like to thank Blood Ocean 07 for joining us in the chat. Of course, Luis for joining us as a guest. Also, be sure to check out The Comic Bubble. every Monday, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, is it Monday?
No, it's or did I say Monday?
You said Monday.
Okay, well, it's posted on Mondays.
You did. You freaking did.
Hey. I'm on Quaaludes, all right? Give me a break. But anyway, posted every Monday, live every Friday at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. Check him out. He's got some good stuff. If you like comic books, then you really have no excuse for not listening.
Yeah.
So if you want to plug it yourself, Luis, if you got anything else to say on the comic bubble?
No, yeah, like I said, I'll be on every Friday. I never miss a week. I know last week we had a little technical problem, but I still came back Saturday. You know, because I'm always working hard for our listeners.
There you go.
He's working hard for the listens, and he's gonna work hard for you now. But yeah, so yeah, tune in, check it out. Also check out Blood Ocean 07, his YouTube channel. Last time I checked, he was trying to get, I think, like 4,000 subscribers. I don't know if you reached that, but if you did, congratulations. If you didn't, guys, go subscribe.
It was his birthday a couple days ago.
Oh, and also happy birthday.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, belated.
Yeah. I hope you got an ocean of blood. Not really. That would actually be a kind of a terrible.
Oh, it's not your birthday yet? Oh, okay. Because I saw the birthday wishes about a day or two.
Well, I don't know if you say not yet to the birthday wishes or not yet to the subscribers.
Oh.
Well, happy birthday to whenever your birthday is, and congratulations to whenever you do achieve those subscribers. Yeah. But, yeah, and also...
okay. Not yet 4,000 subs.
It's not over 4,000! But, yeah. So, be sure to tune in again next week for Straight Outta Austin on Mondays, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Okay, April 5th was his birthday.
Cool.
So, last Saturday, I believe. Live on Mixler.com/PTWOR. Also on Spreaker.com/FERN. Next week, we're going to try and have a guest. We're going to try and have Brian Salisbury join us from oneofus.net. So if you want to check them out. If not him, then somebody else.
Yeah, maybe we'll ask another series regular back or something.
Yeah, but either way, we're going to try and have him on sometime in the near future. And just keep bringing more and more guests to satiate your ears. I'm on the fence. I'm probably going to introduce a new podcast for about 10 episodes called The King Is Not Tired. As I recap the Game of Thrones Season 4.
All right.
So I just watched the season premiere, and it was excellent. It was everything that I dreamed of, because I read the books already, and it's pretty much what I expected, but it was still amazing. So that's the plan, so stay tuned for that. And until then, this is Prometheus.
This is Agamemnon.
This is a Ricky Jen.
Yes, this is Habigi Jen.
Go ahead, Luis. Say it again.
Oh, say it again? Yeah, I'm Ice.
This has been Straight
Outta
Austin.
Yeah. It's kind of hard when we have 4 people. It's like, wait, who's going to talk when?
Yeah.
So much going on.
Anyways, thanks for listening, guys. See you later.
Thanks for listening, listeners.
You guys are the best.
I know. I love you guys. Thanks for listening, Puncherinos.